Hello, everybody. Good evening. Ayan. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Channel V. Hello, my name is V. In case you are new to the channel, it is nice to meet you. You are now watching a live stream episode of the segment Ask V. Today is September 27, 2020. If you are celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. And wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I do hope you are doing well. Whatever adversities you're facing right now, do not forget your sass, your swagger, and your positive attitude. You got this. If you're watching the replay on YouTube right now, greetings, beautiful creatures of planet Earth. I really appreciate you taking time to watch this stream. Also, I want to say thank you to everybody who watched the last episode, which was about the signs that tell he or she is not that into you. And to my guests from last episode, Justin, Dom, and always Drew, gramercy. And to our live stream viewers right now, do not forget to share this stream and please feel free to join the discussion. Let us know your thoughts, greetings, questions, sentiments. Everyone, everything is welcome. So, what is the topic for tonight all about? Some may agree, others may not. But hey, no judgment from me. Whatever you choose, it's fine. So the question that I posted is it okay to be friends with your ex? Yep, that is our point of discussion for tonight. And to give us a diverse perspective, male opinion, psych opinion, even frank and unfiltered thoughts, please welcome my resident co-host, as always, Drew. Hello.
Gusto ko yung intro mo.
Why is that?
I appreciate that. But, pero anyways, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of our
How are
viewers.
you?
Kumusta po kayong lahat? Yes, of course. I'm doing well. Yeah, medyo everything is chill as of the moment. So hindi pa ganun ka stress. Maybe by tomorrow. Hello, Monday.
Yes, it's gonna be Monday once again. So definitely it'll be chaotic once again for everybody who's working. Alam mo, even if we're just working from home, the stress level is undeniable. Like it didn't really differ from the kind of setup we used to have when we were still working in the office. Ganun pa rin siya eh. The demand is still there.
Actually, yeah. Although hindi naman ito yung pinaka-topic natin. Pero kasi
Yeah.
ang hirap i-separate yung sarili mo sa bahay. Sino ka kapag nasa bahay? Ikaw ba yung empleyado o ikaw yung typical na, for example, UV or me as Drew sa bahay? Kasi normally, ideally, kapag nasa bahay ka, sanctuary mo siya. Ngayon, hindi. It's hard to relax.
I know, I understand. Parang kung dati, when you go home, you just sleep, eat, chill. Ngayon, you go home, you're not in your home. Paglabas mo, pagbalik mo, it's the office. You know, your home is your office.
Yun na nga eh. Hindi ka naman pwedeng lumabas kasi
True.
still we have to keep ourselves safe from what you're experiencing right now. So, ayun. Hopefully everything goes better.
But we're not complaining.
Yeah, it's more, well, a little, yeah. Given the case that we're ranting about it. But I think everyone would agree that working from home is very difficult. We are currently experiencing this new normal, or as they say, the now normal. And it has its ups and downs. So one of its downs is that, we experience a lot of stress.
Yeah, but nevertheless, we are thankful that we still have our jobs and, we're able to do what we love doing. And,
Exactly.
we just want to the viewers to know na parang we are with you. If you are, going through some difficulties right now with your work and whatnot, it means you're normal because everybody goes through the same thing. Alam mo yon. So, like what I said in my intro, do not forget your sass, your swagger, and your positive attitude. Whatever problem you're facing right now, I know you will get through it, definitely. It's just a phase. Matatapos din. Right?
It's just a phase, which is quite a very long phase, however.
Yep,
We need to
January. August, pandemic, December. That's how quick it
December.
is. Or
Ayun na.
that's how slow it is.
No, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Ayan.
All right. Before we go to the topic, I just want to say a quick hello to the people who are watching us right now. To Karina Pineda, Larissa De Leon, Dizon, Ira Hoxon, Zemel Baricante, Rose Ann Miranda Dizon, Jill Calma, and Alan Christian Canan and Carlos. Thank you for joining this early. So, if you were not able to catch the topic that I said a while back, it is about being friends with your ex. Okay lang ba na maging friends ka sa ex mo? Okay? Now, before we go to the... I'm sorry, you were saying?
That's interesting.
It is interesting. Some may agree, actually, that, it's okay to be friends with their exes, but others may opt not to. So, the very first question that I'll throw to you, Drew, is that should you be friends with your ex? Or is it okay? Like, personally, is it okay for you to be friends with your ex? Before I give my answer, what's your take on this?
This is a little bit hard because if you want something personal, I'm not sure. One astounding don't. Just don't. Yun ang masasabi ko dyan. Why? Maybe later I'll expound on it. Kung bakit.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, cool. Also, I want to ask our viewers, just type your answers on the comment section below. Is it okay for you to be friends with your ex? What's your take on this issue? Sabihin niyo lang yes and then explain why, or no and then elaborate on it too. So Drew is telling us right now, do not be friends with your ex. But in my case, I'd say, go ahead, be friends with your ex. There's nothing wrong about being friends with your ex. Just to give a sense of argument or balance to opinions, right? Okay. Now, before we debate further on that matter, let's contextualize friends first. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng friends? Baka kasi ang isipin ng viewers natin kapag sinabing friends, ito yung surface level or superficial level na friends kayo sa Facebook, nasa contacts mo pa rin siya, or you sometimes get to chat with him, kumustahan or whatnot. But in this situation, when we say friends, what we mean is that you're not just civil with the person. You're really, really friends with the person. Like, you hang out. Lumalabas pa rin kayo, whether just the two of you or you have a common circle. You talk often, you chat, you meet, you tease each other. Tapos, you open up to one another the problems that you have with other people. You share to one another. You visit each other's houses. You eat together, go on double dates, etc. So this is the kind of friendship that is hardcore. Okay? Hindi lang siya yung civil na hindi kayo nag-aaway or okay na kayo or both of you had passed na the situation, the breakup. Diba? Nakapag-move on us. Ibig sabihin talagang friends kayo. Okay? And the things that we will share to you today, galing sila sa www.hercampus.com. So, these are not our own, but definitely, they came from some people, a university actually, kung saan nag-research yung writer ng write-up na to. And we have a comment right here from Alan Christian Canan and Carlos. He said, yes, but not the same intimate relationship. Of course, casual friends na lang. What does casual friend mean?
Yeah.
Diba? Elaborate for us kung ano ibig sabihin ng casual friend. Kasi when you're friends, how can you be casual with the person, right? But anyway, ayan. So pag-usapan natin yung pros and cons, the upside and the downside of becoming or being friends with your exes. Ready ka na ba, Sir Drew?
I think.
Okay.
Kinakabahan ako nung
Before we dive into the first one, another comment right here from our resident viewer, Larissa Dizon. She said, I'm friends with my ex kasi we have kids. Anyways, being good with co-parenting and stuff. Yun lang, ang daming issue like nagkabalikan na and things like that. And then she threw a smiley with some tears emoji and then 5 peace signs. Ayan. So yeah, that's a good point. Being friends with your ex because you have kids. We'll talk about that in a bit. Ayan. Thank you very much for your comments. Keep them coming. We appreciate your comments, guys.
And please join our discussion as well. Please have a debate.
Kasi ako
you will really appreciate it.
Si Drew hindi. Anyhow, so here's the first advantage Okay. First advantage, or one of the advantages or the pros when it comes to being friends with your ex. Number one, you figure out why it ended. You might think, paano naging advantageous ang maging friend ako sa ex ko, and to figure out how it ended or why it ended. So sabi sa article, if I may just read it, being friends with your ex gives you the chance to really talk about why you broke up. When you're in the midst of a relationship, it can be hard to talk about your feelings without feeling guarded. When the relationship is removed from the equation, you are free to discuss exactly what went wrong. And this is actually true. I don't know if Drew will agree with me, pero syempre when you are in the heated discussion of breaking up with the person, you really cannot, or you're not in the position wherein kaya mong
Think
intindihin
logic.
yung tao, 'di ba? Yung parang emotional ka eh. You just wanna end the relationship. So you couldn't really talk it out kung bakit natatapos ang relationship nyo. But after the so-called breakup and you become friends with the person, suddenly magkakaroon kayo ng peace and quiet moment. Oo nga no, dude, ba't ba tayo nag-break? And then you figure out, saan ba ako nagkulang? Ano ba yung ginawa kong mali? Ah, baka kung napag-usapan natin ng mabuti like this way, baka hindi natin nasayang yung relationship and so on and so forth. So, Drew, are you starting to change your mind?
Well, first and foremost, there's zero judgment here.
Mhm.
Let's try to level that down. Kasi oo nga, we have our own personal experiences on how to interpret this kind of issue. So there will really be some people who would be agreeing with it, some who will not be agreeing with it. So for one thing though, maybe the reason why you're able to communicate with each other is yun nga, you're actually correct with that one, because there's nothing that would bind you deeply anymore. Kumbaga, you still have this connection, but not that intimately, not very deep. So it gives you a position or a certain scenario or an instance wherein, okay, let's try to talk this out. Not just in a civil kind of way, but in a very parang alam mo, mature kind of way. Um, Maybe one thing that we could throw it in is that um, you started the relationship with a very good or strong friendship, and maybe because of that you're able to reestablish it again, maybe after certain heartbreaks, a certain period na talagang masakit talaga siya. So by that time, kapag medyo okay ka na, you can think logically, you're not overwhelmed with your emotions anymore, maybe by that time you can communicate accordingly sa taong yun. Okay? Kasi nga, again, I could use that as my reason for the first item natin. You actually started with a good relationship, a very strong
Mhm.
one, a strong friendship. So maybe that's one way wherein you can go back a few years and then try to reestablish that na, uy, dati naman nag-usap tayo ng maayos. Can we just talk? And then
Mhm.
eventually, during that conversation, you try to clarify things. Kasi oo nga naman, for most of us, ang kailangan nila yung sinasabi yung closure, yung
Aha.
yung ano yun, closure. Tatlo yun alam ko eh. Closure, clarity, I forgot the other one. Basta closure and
Yeah.
clarity, yung number one dyan.
Mhm. And I feel like if we talk about the situation, if you are able to figure it out why it ended, I'm most definite that there was already closure between the two of you. Kasi you wouldn't be that open and casual about it if there's still some lingering feelings eh. Alam mo
Mm.
yon? Unless you have the motive na gusto mong makipagbalikan, that's why you're trying to reach out and ask the person what went wrong. But if you know, nakapag-move on na kayo pareho and you decided to become friends now and then you ask each other what went wrong, I think it's more of the clarity, the second C
Mm.
that you were talking about, that you're trying to reach as you talk about why or how the relationship ended.
Yeah.
And it's important if you want to remain friends with your ex, kasi that only goes to show that you could forgive each other already for the shortcomings and the mistakes that you've done to one another during the relationship. And like what you said, it takes a lot of maturity, honesty, and actually strength, emotional strength, to be able to admit to your ex, I was wrong. I did bad
Oo.
things. I hurt
Eh,
you.
yeah. Yun kasi yung ano eh. Actually, in the process of asking for yung clarity nga, it's we would with the many things that I've read and with the many people that I've talked to, and even isali ko na dito yung personal experience ko. Pero
Uh-huh.
ang hinihintay natin kasi yung parang kasalanan ko, oo, naintindihan ko na. Parang, I'm sorry, ako yung may mali. Yun kasi yung titingnan natin dyan eh. Pero if you try to dissect the relationship really deep, I think it's better not to point fingers kung sino ba talaga nagkamali. Kasi at some point, kayong dalawa ang nagkamali. So that's the reason why at a certain extent, it didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't work
Pero-
out for the two of you.
Pero yun yung laging hinihintay kasi natin na ako ang nagkamali. Let's face it, yun yung hinihintay natin. Na parang, yes! Na-realize din niya. yun yung hinihintay natin kasi.
I think from your point of view, it's actually nasty that we want to hear that from the person na parang,
Oo, yun na
hindi
nga
ako mali, ikaw ang nagkamali. That's why the relationship ended. But I think it is also beneficial for the both of you if you hear each other say, may mali ako.
Yeah,
Because
totoo yun.
diba? Kasi parang dun mabavalidate na, okay, hindi lang ako yung nagkamali or hindi lang ako yung nagkulang. Siya din, ina-acknowledge niya yung flaws niya, yung pagkakamali niya sa relationship. And it helps you grow, diba?
Yeah.
Into being friends with each other. Kasi mapapatawad niyo na yung isa't isa eventually. Right? Ayan, sabi dito ni Alan Christian Carlos, in reference to the question we threw at him or to him kanina, sabi niya, syempre it depends on how deep your past was, di ba? Basta wala ng friends with benefits. Ahaha. Well, we will go to the friends with benefits aspect in a bit kasi maraming
In a
pros
bit.
and cons tayong pag-uusapan. And medyo
Tsaka
maaga
ano,
pa.
Maaga pa. Yun sasabihin ko, maaga pa, Alan. Just sit tight. Hang in there.
Oo. Kasi baka may mga bata pang nanonood sa atin. Mga mamayang 9
Yun na
o'clock
nga,
yung friends with benefits. Pwede na natin pag-usapan yan. But yes, we definitely agree with you when you said it depends on how deep your past was with the person. Kasi if the relationship was definitely toxic, I don't think you will have enough reason to be friends with your ex anymore. Lalong-lalo na kung alam mo na yung karakas niya or alam mo na yung datingan niya as a person. Diba? Not just a romantic partner, but as a person. Diba? So, mag-iisip-isip ka rin, is this the kind of person I want to be friends with? Not even boyfriend or girlfriend, just friends, diba? So, mag-iisip ka rin. But of course, if you came from a relationship na mabuti kayong tao sa isa't isa, you've hurt each other emotionally but not damaged each other deeply or in a way that is toxic, I think being friends with one another is a good thing. And Drew thinks otherwise. Another comment right here from Larissa Quezon. She said, it's a long process kasi hindi naman katulad ng natapos kayo ngayon, exes kayo ngayon, after a few months friends na kayo. Nope, there will come a time talaga na you have that moment na makikita nyo yung both sides. Yun lang kapag may third party, ibang reason na yun, syempre. Yeah, like what I was saying, if the reason why you broke up with each other was because of some toxic reason, like, a third party, pambubugbog, alcoholism, or whatever reason you had, which you feel was really destructive for the both of you as persons and for the relationship itself, I don't think you will really have some grounds to be friends or to remain in touch with one another. Oo naman. And it's true as well yung sinabi niya na hindi naman ito yung itutulog mo lang friends na kayo kinabukasan. Definitely not. Our context here is that nakapag-move on na kayo pareho, naka-let go na kayo sa isa't isa. There might no longer be the lingering romantic emotions or feelings for one another, but you see each other as valuable individuals. Yung hindi ko pwedeng itapon tong taong to kasi he's a good friend of mine. Or he can be a good friend of mine. Right? Ayan. Tapos sabi ni Sir Charles Brent Magpayo, hi! Hello!
Hello.
Thank you for joining the live. And I also want to say hello to the others who are watching. Marvin Vin is also watching us. And then Michael John Ronquillo is also here. Sir Ivan Martin is also watching us. Hello, sir. What up? And we have a comment right here. Nope, you can't eat your own puke. And Sir Drew was dismissed on the live stream. I don't know what happened, but please come back. Yeah, I definitely respect your opinion, Michael, that you cannot be friends with your ex. Probably you have no reason to be friends with that person. But yeah, I respect it. In my case, I just feel like there's nothing wrong with being friends with your ex, kasi especially if you've really moved on. But if you think that person will not be able to contribute to you something valuable or positive, yung tipong kahit friends lang, wala kang makukuha sa kanya na ikagaganda or kaaayos ng buhay mo. I think you're good on your own, diba? But some people, they choose to be friends with their exes kasi sabi ko nga, they see the person as a good human being, and kung nagkamali man yung tao, it's probably as a partner, as a boyfriend, as a girlfriend. But as a person, siguro may nakita silang goodness and quality dun sa tao that is worth keeping, diba? Para maging friends pa rin sila. Ayun. I hope you heard my comment on Michael's comment kasi sabi niya, nope, you cannot eat your own puke.
Yeah, I was able to catch up with that. Yeah.
Your thoughts on
Pero
that?
oo nga,
Kasi
no?
ikaw din, ayaw mo eh.
Well, for one thing, paano ba? You cannot say that it's, kasi kapag sinabi mong puke, it's something disgusting eh. It's something that you throw away. So it's better not to, I mean, let's face it, there are some points in some event in our lives, we will throw people away because of maybe the level of toxicity that we are experiencing, or maybe the pain that we are also experiencing. So, but we cannot just simply say that they are parang dirty or something na parang disgusting. It's similar to puke. Siguro we need to look at it in a brighter instance wherein yes, it hurt. Yes, masakit. But we've learned something from it. Siguro yun yung importante tinitingnan dyan. Okay?
He has an
Pero,
additional comment. I'm sorry, go ahead.
sige lang, sabi kasi ni Michael dito na autopass sa sumasama sa matanda while in a really, parang may pinuhugutan si Michael.
Oo, meron siyang hugot. Sabi niya pa dito, apakadaldal ko. Gusto mo ba akong i-PM, Michael? Pag-usapan natin kung anong problema.
Oo. Meron naman ako ditong alak as naka-video lang tayong ganyan. Online. Online chat.
I don't know, maybe the context where he's coming from is siguro he was in a relationship before and it got kind of toxic na yung karelasyon niya was, dating older men. I'm not sure kasi sabi niya autopass sa sumasama sa matanda while in a relationship. I don't know. I can only assume. But yeah, but you know what? I have to go back to this comment kasi sabi mo kanina, it's not really nice to treat people that we break up with as trash. Kasi parang we are, how do I put it? Yun nga, they're considered puke or parang trash or undesirable.
Or
parang, ganon. Ako kasi personally, even if I already broke up with you, kahit na meron akong pagkakamali sa iyo or meron kang pagkakamali sa akin, I still consider you as a person. I mean, oo, siguro at one point, while I was moving on, minura kita, iniyakan kita, nagalit ako sa'yo, sinumpa kita. But, after the storm, kapag nakapag-isip ka na and you're no longer emotional, I still try to see the good in the person. Kagaya nga nasabi ko kanina, nagkulang man siya or nagkamali man siya as my boyfriend, I feel as a person, hindi naman siya mamamatay tao. Hindi naman siya gumagawa ng masama. So I still see the value of the person. But like what I said, I respect Michael's opinion na you cannot eat your own puke. Oo naman, I wouldn't. Literally. Yeah. But when it comes to people, it doesn't mean naman you're getting back with the person or going back with the person. Especially if you know the history of the person. It's just that you want to be friends with the person. Ayun. So Michael, PM mo kami. Let us know kung saan nanggagaling tong hanash na ito.
Yung mga hanash mong yan. Sige, go lang.
Para mas maintindihan namin yung pinanggagalingan mong konteksto. Ayan. So that is one of the first advantages of becoming friends with your ex is that you can figure out why it ended in a very civil, non-romantic, walang hanash way. Diba? Yung out of the blue lang. Out of the blue lang. Oo. Kasi totoo yung sinabi ng article na while you're in the relationship or while the relationship is about to end, talagang guarded ka.
Oo.
'Di ba? Mahihirapan kayong itanong sa isa't isa bakit nagfe-fail na yung relationship or bakit tayo nag-break. Kasi definitely emotional ka.
Actually, this brings me to what I've mentioned a while ago. Hindi pala sila tatlong C, apat sila. One is composure, one is communicate, then clarify. Yung pinakahuli dun yung closure.
Okay.
So So, huling-huli siya. Yeah. Yung
Mhm.
composure, yun yung sinasabi nilang to keep calm. So, ibig sabihin na parang before you even try to initiate something, to talk with the person, make sure that you are personally stable. Meaning,
Oo, hindi ka
kalmado ka lang,
emotional. Yes.
hindi ka emotional, you're able to think straight, yeah, and you know what to say, you're very confident on how to project yourself to the person, yan. Kumbaga, piniprepare mo yung sarili mo, you try to compose yourself, sabi nga nila. Then after that, doon ka magko-communicate. Yan, para makuha mo
Mhm.
yung clarification na hinihingi mo. Yan. Okay? And normally, we more often than not, we need to go through with to compose ourselves. At mahirap yon. Kasi alam mo
Yes.
masakit.
Mhm.
Alam mo, nahihirapan ka, nasaktan ka. So, you're very emotional. Yeah, you're very much overwhelmed with what you're feeling because of the pain, because of the thing that you feel. Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool. I also want to say quickly a hello to John Espero, who's also watching us right now. Hello to you. Thank you for joining the live. Ayan, some of you, sa viewers natin, you may join us too during the conversation. We are on number 1 pa lang, figuring out why it ended. Maybe some of you may ask, why do we need to figure out why it ended? It ended anyway. What's the point of becoming friends with the person and asking the person why it ended? Tapos na nga eh. Some people, they don't need closure, they don't need clarification, they don't need reasons, and they're good to go. Okay? You don't need to give me all that shh. If
Yeah.
we broke up, it means some S went down. That means it ended. Okay? I got it. I'm
Yeah.
not born yesterday. Pero for other people, no. Let's sit down. Let's talk about it. I'm cool. I just want to understand. Alam mo yun, baka sa next relationship ko, I'd be able to bring some bits and pieces of learnings na, 'di ba? Although every relationship is different, pero you know, you'll get something out of the conversation anyway. 'Di ba?
For the most of us kasi we just want to close the book or to at least finish the chapter.
Mhm.
And then after that we can move forward kasi we don't want things that are putting us into chains.
Mhm.
Parang ayaw natin na nakatali tayo because of those haunting questions that we have. Yeah. Some of us, they're able, tama ka sa sinabi mo, some of us, they can move on quite easily kahit na mayroon mga questions na hindi pa nasagot. Meron mga taong ganyan. But there are some that they can't. It's not that they're weak. It's not that they're not courageous. But it's just that para lang mawala yung yung tanikala or yung nakahook sa puso nila para eventually okay na. Sige, alisin na natin. Yun na naman yung habol nila. Okay?
Oo. Kasi kanya-kanya tayo ng healing process. May mga taong I'd rather not know. I'll just move on, you know, with all my might and all my strength. Pero mga taong I have to know and then I'll move on. Or
Yeah.
I've moved on already but I just need to know for the sake of. Alam mo yun?
Yeah, totoo yan. Tama,
Oo.
tama.
Kasi we're on the context of friends na sila eh. Ano lang, gusto ko lang malaman for fun or out of, you know, not having anything to talk about. Let's talk about it anyway.
Pero make sure when you communicate, you are stable na, no? Baka all of a sudden, meron lang siyang sinabi, tapos all of a sudden, nagpa-fall ka na naman. Dalawang bagay yan eh. It's either na-trigger ka at nagalit, or na-trigger ka at na-fall ka na naman.
Yes.
Dalawang bagay lang ang pwede mangyari dyan. Dali na natin yung sapat. Nawala lang.
Mhm.
Ganun yung pwedeng mga options na pwedeng isipin kasi dyan.
Although I cannot generalize na if you're friends with your ex already, talagang completely healed and moved on ka na. Mayroong iba kasi na ginagawa lang front yung we can be friends, but deep in their hearts, I want a second chance. Diba? We cannot generalize. So it's a case-to-case basis. But the context that we are operating on right now is that both people have moved on and they're open to one another already and they just want to talk about the reasons why they ended the relationship. Okay. And also, I want to say a quick hello to Jill Calma. I know, my dear, that you are going through some sad moments right now. Hang in there. Mag-usap tayo mamaya after ng live. Ayan, shout out to you. Sabi niya, sorry, I can't watch the live entirely because I have work. Pa-shout out na lang po, sabi niya. No worries. Let's talk later. And then we have some comments right here. Asan na ba iyon? Sabi ni Larissa De Leon Dizon, baka recent pa lang siya baka recent pa lang siya na issue. Hehehe, peace tayo, shot na po yan. And then, sabi ni Michael, tara kape, promise, usap lang.
Yeah. Minsan kasi
Kapag
kailangan talaga natin may kausap lang eh.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
kape
why
at saka
we're
usap.
here. Diba? Kung wala kayong makausap sa inyo, Drew and I are here to talk about the things that worry you. You know, especially this one. Should I be friends with my ex or should I just leave the person? Diba? And not communicate with the person anymore. And then a quick hello then to Camille Simbilio Alvaro. Hello, my dear. Thank you for watching the live. Okay, now let's move on to the second pros. This person knows you better than most. So the more reason why you should be friends with this person is that if you started out as friends before the relationship and you didn't end on a horrible note, then you don't have to lose the person as a part of your life. In fact, this person probably knows you better than a lot of other people, so they can give you advice that no one else would be able to. So this is the second of the advantages why you should be friends with your ex. Kasi sabi nga niya dun sa the article, nobody knows you more than this person does. Right? And if you need some advice, siya yung pwede mong takbuhan because you've been together. And I have to highlight the part of the paragraph or the statement na you did not end up on a bad note. Kasi nga, like what I said, if you ended the relationship for some toxic reason, you will not have the trust anymore to be friends with the person. But definitely, if the relationship ended on a good note, consenting adults kayong dalawa, na may pinag-usapan ninyo and you agreed that it's no longer working for the both of you, then the next best thing to have with this person that you've just removed from your life as a romantic partner is to be friends with the person. Am I convincing you enough, Sir Drew?
Actually, I'm both parties. I'm trying to put myself in between. Pero yun na nga. Kasi if I'll be putting myself in the dark, sa pula,
In the dark.
sa pulang side, marami pwede, I'm not sure ha, correct me if I'm wrong guys, sa mga ating listeners and viewers. Baka pwede yung maging reason dyan na, yun na nga eh, kilala niya ako, kahit kanino pang tao. Pero bakit nakipaghiwalay siya or nag-break kami? Yun yung pwede kasi isipin doon eh. Parang, we're not having this kind of parang session na nag-usap tayo about why we broke up and clarifying things up. Kasi kung kilala mo talaga ako, then this is nothing. It should not be existing as of this moment. So, yun yung pwedeng isang panghugutan natin dyan. Another one would be that, in a more positive light, na tama ka nga naman doon, na kilala ka niya. And going back to the first one, because we're able to communicate with each other, at least meron kang consenting na agreement with the both of you that you can be in a relationship as friends as long as the both of you admit to each other that things actually didn't work. Hindi dapat siya one-sided lang. Okay? And eventually, once you're able to accept that fact, maybe dyan papasok na din yung sa second natin na kilala niya kasi ako. So, more than anyone else, na kahit I know na hindi nag-work yung relationship namin, alam ko kilala niya ako. Kilala niya yung mga bagay-bagay na gusto ko at saka ayaw ko. And basically, I cannot risk, yes, we actually took the risk of having a relationship, but this time, you don't want to take the risk na mawala siya as your friend sa buhay mo. Parang yun yung pwedeng, dalawang options na pwedeng isipin dyan. Okay? So, ano yung option pipiliin niyo dyan, guys? Yung parang dahil nasaktan ka at alam mo naman nakakilala ka na kaya dapat hindi kayo nag-break up. O kahit na after what's all said and done, okay lang kasi alam nyo na magkaibigan kayong totoo. O yan. Ano pipiliin niyo dyan, guys?
Both hurt. Ayong masakit. But, I have to rebut dun sa sinabi mo kanina na some viewers may feel na, kung kakilala mo pala ako, bakit hindi nag-work ang relationship natin nung mag-boyfriend and girlfriend pa rin tayo? Alam mo naman pala yung preferences ko, kung anong gusto ko, anong nakakasakit sa akin and all that. Pero you know what, sometimes, a man and a woman meet, tapos they attempt to become romantic partners only to realize they're better off as friends. May mga ganun kasi na minsan pinipuwersa natin yung mga sarili natin na mahalin tong taong to romantically. And then eventually, nare-realize natin, okay, siguro I'm not the romantic person or partner that fits this person. Pero as a friend, I feel like I could be a good one for this person.
Yeah, totoo yan.
May ganun kasi.
Diyan na papasok yung mga linyang ayaw natin naririnig, pero kailangan natin tanggapin. Yung linyang, it's not you.
It's me.
It's me. Guys, tanggapin natin yung linya yun. Alam natin it's so cliche. Alam natin it's something that we don't want to hear during a certain, when we initiate the breakup. Pero it really happens kasi. Parang, that kind of scenario, it happens. So, as much as
Oo.
we try to shrug it away, it's unavoidable. Pero wag naman po laging gawin yung reason, no? Parang just to, parang ginagawa mo lang siya parang scapegoat na it's not you, it's me. You really need to be very wise for you to say those words.
Yep. Yeah, and before I rebut again, I just want to say a quick hello to the viewers who's joined the live again. Shane Sagom is right here. Hello, Shane. Ma'am Murphy Gopez is also watching us. Hello, Ma'am Murphy. And we have some comments right here that I need to up on the screen. Coming from Michael. Sir Drew, can you read it for us?
But wala siya exclusion. Eto
Wala,
yun
wala,
eh.
wala.
The person knew what you have experienced and the thing you don't want to experience again, did it again. Kinalingan pa niya. Hihi.
Oh my gosh.
Parang, dapat pala mababa.
Ano sabi niya? Ito yun eh. The person knew what you've experienced. Ah, okay.
Yun nga. Alam niya eh. Kilala ka niya. So they have this understanding with each other. Kaso lang wala. Yung sinabi ko kanina, dapat you're not in a position of fighting or breaking up. Kasi alam niyo sa isa't isa na kilala niyo ang bawat isa.
Mm-hmm.
Pero wala.
But Michael, I have to tell you, shame me once or fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me na.
Yeah, totoo. Yeah, oo.
Diba?
Totoo naman.
So kung niloko ka
Totoo
na ng isang beses, tapos niloko ka pa ng pangalawang beses, pero tinanggap mo pa rin, you're being too nice. Aren't you? Ayan. Pero gigil na gigil siya sa comment niya.
Yun na nga eh. O yan, medyo mahaba-haba. Go, ma'am.
Oo, medyo mawawala tayo sa screen ngayon. Go, Drew.
And sabi ni Joshua Romero, relating ang relationship with your ex ay medyo emotionally unhelpful based sa experience. Lalo na if the breakup had to do with trust issues. Breaking up minsan has a plethora of issues or reasons kung bakit nag-break ang partners or even sa mga asawa. Agree na kapag naka-move on na both and you want to show your maturity or nag-learn ka ng relationship nyo, maybe you can try na maging magkaibigan kung hindi na nga kayo naging successful bilang mag-partner or couple. Try lang ang friends. Oh, actually, yun yung sinabi natin nina. Na we, if things didn't work out, maybe we're not meant to be in intimate relationship. Maybe hanggang friends lang tayo. Edi, let's try to go back a bit na balikan natin pagiging friends natin. I think we can grow together. Kung hanggang dun na lang muna tayo.
Mm-hmm. And also, I want to tap on what he said. Na it's emotionally unhelpful. This is true if you just broke up with the person. Gaya ng sinabi namin kanina, if the breakup is fresh, recent, months pa lang, I don't think it's really ideal that you become friends with the person because you're still trying to move on. Diba? Tama naman din yun. Huwag mo rin namang saktan yung sarili mo na or lokohin yung sarili mo na, no, okay, naka-move on na ako, we can be friends. It's a long process to get there, to be actually able to admit to yourself na or to convince yourself even na pwede na tayong maging magkaibigan. Kasi as long as you're hurting, as long as you have this, sabi ko nga, lingering emotions or feelings towards the person, kasi hodang negative emotions yan or meron ka pang pagmamahal sa tao or attraction sa tao, you can never really be platonic with the person. Mahirap. Kasi magre-resurface yung dati.
Kaya nga basically with what I mentioned a while ago, compose yourself. Ayusin mo muna sarili mo. Keep yourself calm, understanding your emotions, and then eventually once you're able to tone it down a bit, then maybe that's the moment that you can communicate with each other. Okay, but don't do it na parang alam mo yun, heighten yung emotions mo. It won't solve anything, it won't do anything good as well.
And you know what, this may be a good segue to a different topic for another episode, yung sa breakup, after breakup, siguro it's best din na hindi ka muna talaga maging friends sa ex mo. I mean, yung silence between the two of you, the distance.
Yeah.
Kasi merong ibang nagbe-break na nagkukumustahan pa rin. alam mo yun, nag-break na sila pero may communication pa rin. They still follow each other sa social media or maybe kung neighbors sila, nakikita pa rin nila yung isa't isa sa baryo nila or whatever.
Ang saklap nun, neighbor. Walang kawala. Lalabas ka.
Oo.
Nag-aulis ka ng bakura nila. Nandun siya.
Nandun
Masakit
siya,
yun.
Pag-isip mo sa umaga, andun agad siya no? But what I'm trying to say here is that if you just broke up, maganda talaga na completely wala munang communication because you need your alone time. Nandun yung papasok yung reflection, yung you acknowledge the pain, mag-iiyak ka, etc., etc. So it's really not advisable, at least coming from me, na you talk to the person right after the breakup. Bigyan nyo naman, kaya nga break. Give each other some time, space, and break from each other. Diba? Kasi nga hindi nyo na kayang i-handle yung isa't isa together. So you have to be on separate ways or separate dimension.
We've read way back. Naalala ko lang ngayon lang na try to find moments of peace during the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yung alam mo yun? Yung hindi siya hindi siya a very prolonged peace. Kasi talagang panandalian lang, very quick moments na you're able to say to yourself, mahalin ko muna ang sarili ko, ako muna ulit. As kapag ready na ako ng konti, then break away from that. As kung tingin mo, di ka pa rin ready, balik ka ulit sa moments of peace na yun.
Yeah.
Actually, a push and pull type of movement kasi di ka pwedeng laban ng laban, di ka pwedeng sugod ng sugod, especially kapag ganun mga aspects. Okay? Tanggapin natin yung reality na a breakup is painful.
Yep. Although it's painful, I always say naman that breakups are always blessings. They're always blessings kasi binibigyan ka nila ng ibang perspective, panahon, pagkakataon para sa sarili mo naman. You know,
tama.
You may have lost the person as a romantic partner, but you have yourself. You still have yourself, and you have to take care and love yourself again on your own. Ganun naman
or
lagi
maybe
ang
another take on that would be you lost yourself in the process, and that's your time to find yourself again. Ganun natin siya pwedeng isipin siya. Okay?
Yeah. Ay, mahirap lang siyang aminin. Mahirap lang siyang aminin actually. Minsan kasi kahit mahal mo pa rin yung tao or mahal mo talaga yung tao, minsan nabe-burnout ka din. Tao ka lang. Diba? Kahit nandun
tao
pa
lang
rin
kayong dalawa. Isama natin yung dalawa. Tao kayong dalawa. Okay?
Diba? Pero sabi nga ni Josh dito, lalo na kung naging breakup reason is trust issue, definitely mahirap na talagang maging friends sa ex mo. Kasi nga, sabi ko, if you cannot trust the person as a romantic partner, what more as a friend? So, depende talaga sa naging reason ng breakup kung papaano kayo magiging friends after or kung dapat ba kayong maging friends after. Definitely. A quick hello then to AJ Valdez who's watching us right now and via Janela Gonzalez who's also here on the live stream. Hello. All right. So that's number 2. No, one of the advantages of being friends with your ex is that the person knows you more than anyone else. So if you become friends with the person, parang alam mo yun, assured ka. Somebody got me. Somebody understands me. And if I get into trouble, meron akong backup, meron akong kaibigan na pwede kong takbuhan day in, day out. And I know this person will be there for me no matter what because this person was with me before and he knows my dynamics. Alam niya kung anong nagpapaiyak sa akin, alam niya kung anong nakakairata. And without having to speak a word, maiintindihan niya ako. Diba? And syempre, kung wala ka nang emotional attachment dun sa taong yon, romantic emotions, no? Dun sa taong yon, syempre, hindi ka na mababother dun sa binibigay niyang attention sa'yo kasi you're friends. Diba? Pero kung meron pa, baka kiligin ka pa rin dyan. Yung tipong, oh my God, isang tawag ko lang, pinupuntahan niya ako. Oh my God, isang tawag ko lang, sumasagot siya sa text or calls ko. Oh my God, sinabi ko lang, gutom ako.
Isa lang sasabihin ko dyan. Isa lang sasabihin ko dyan.
Ano?
2 words pala. Huwag assuming.
Yes.
Yun lang yun.
Diba? Oo. Kasi you have to understand that if you decided to be friends, it's normal to do those things to each other or for each other. Kasi nga, friends kayo. Diba? Pero sabi ko nga, kung meron pa rin nananatiling mga pagmamahal at kilig at attraction dyan, wag na nga. It's tama si Sir Drew, wag assuming. Okay? The person is your friend. He or she is being nice to you. So don't give other colors to the gestures of the person. Lalo na kung ikaw naman yung nag-demand nun na, oy, puntahan mo ako ngayon kasi malungkot ako. Inom tayo. Something like that. Both of you are platonic. You have to understand that if you should be friends with your ex. And then hello to Arvin Gonzalez as well. He is watching us right now. Okay, now let's go to the third one. Another advantage of becoming friends or being friends with your ex. Sabi sa title, a new opportunity. So let's talk about what this opportunity is. Sabi dito, one door has closed and now another new opportunity has opened. It gives you a chance to have a friend that you don't have to be awkward because of the getting to know you stage. That you had to do with all of your friends. As friends, you know each other's favorite color, the movies you like, and what restaurants you like. So you can dive into all the friend activities. Plus, now you can all hang out with other people and not make anyone the third wheel. I think this is possible and advantageous if you are friends tapos meron din kayong common circle of friends. Diba?
Possible, oo.
Kasi, I feel like if you've become friends after the breakup, tapos meron kayong common circle of friends, one advantage of that, hindi ma-awkward sa inyo yung circle of friends nyo. Kasi minsan pag, halimbawa, mag-boyfriend, girlfriend kayo, tapos nag-break kayo, divided din kasi yung barkada eh.
Yeah, totoo yun, yeah.
Diba? Kasi parang, ikaw niloko mo si ganto, hindi na tayo, hindi na kita tropa. Sinaktan mo tinalo mo brother ko yun, sister ko yun But if the two of you become friends, there's actually another opportunity for you guys kasi from being lovers, you become friends. And if you have the common friends, you have the common circle of friends, hindi siya awkward para sa inyo to hang out with one another too. Or with each other too. Parang ganon.
Although may rebuttal ako dyan kasi what if you haven't yet have the courage to face your ex and to consider your ex as an acquaintance na lang. Yan kasi yun, especially when you're still in the process of really moving on. Kasi for example, you were able to communicate already. Sa sinabi kong 4 na Cs kanina, ang pinakamahabang parts dyan is the first one and the last one. Try yourself. And then yung pinakadulo is trying to find closure. Yung closure na yan, yung mahirap makuha kasi once nabigay na sa'yo yung clarity na hinihingi mo, ngayon, yung bola nasa sa'yo na. Ikaw na ang naglalaro. Kailangan ikaw nang tumanggap. There is, you still have not reached the point na natanggap mo na yung sinabi niya. Kahit na, alam mo yun, na naamin niya yung mga pagkakamali niya or naamin niya yung mga yung pagkukulang niya sa relationship ninyo. Pero there's really that part of you that's whispering to your heart of hearts na parang hindi. Nagsisinungaling lang yan. Hindi. May pagkukulang pa rin yan. Alam mo yung ganong feeling na there's this really, really, really soft whisper that's trying not to help you move on. Kaya eventually kapag nandun pa rin yung stage na yun, kung nakalang sa stage na yun, all well and good, you have this group of friends still binded together even though nawala na yung spark ninyong dalawa. Pero what's hard is that nadadamay na rin yung mga yung barkada niyo habang in the process kayo na nag-move on or ikaw na lang ang nag-move on. Yan kasi yung kino-consider natin dyan. Kasi the last thing that you would like to happen, especially if you have the same friends, is that hindi mo mapasa yung stress, hindi mo na isasali yung intimate relationship mo dun sa friends, yung sa relationship mo with the friends. Okay? Kasi ang hirap kapag divided na nga kayo, tapos pati yung barkada, divided na rin. I think that's not a healthy thing that you're passing around with.
It is not. Kasi parang dapat na-resolve yung issue na yon kayong dalawa. Bakit lumalabas pa rin sa barkada, di ba?
Yeah,
pero minsan, on the other side of the coin, yung the flip side, kayong dalawa okay na kayo, yung barkada nyo naman, yung di makatanggap na wala na kayo, tapos pag nakita nilang okay na kayo, sila pa yung nambubuyo. May mga ganon, may mga ganon tropa. And I've been through that too. Alam mo yung tipong tatanungin ka nila, uy, nakita mo yung ex mo today? Yeah, okay, why? Oy, meron pa yan. Parang, no, okay na kami, we're friends. Alam mo yun? Sila hindi pa naka-move on, pero kayo, okay na kayo.
Hindi, siguro I understand that. Pero, alam mo yun, maybe because they are so, there's the effect of kilig pa rin kahit alam nilang wala na. And they're after that kilig na parang, dapat kayo bakit hindi pwede? Dapat kayo.
Oo.
Ang sarap sabihin, di kayong dalawa na lang. Huwag niyo akong ikaway. Ako, tapos na ako dyan. Di kayong dalawa na lang. Kayo na lang.
True.
Pero yeah, don't, our friends don't mean it, they don't mean it, they don't actually mean it naman. It's just that they are, they're also, yung panghihinayang kasi nandun yung konteksto na yun. Na parang, power couple kayo, or na, ang dami yung pangarap. Kasi kasama sila sa growth ninyo Nasali sila sa relationship ninyo out of, parang automatic kasi yun Kaya, they just mean well. Pero di naman yun, di naman yun ibig sabihin na talaga binubuo yun.
Literal,
Oo. Pero napakasar lang. Pero clarify to them na both of us, we've admitted already na it won't, nada.
All right. Yep. But again, being friends with your ex opens another opportunity for you guys na yun nga, if it did not work out for you as romantic partners, then probably you could be good friends. Diba? Ayun.
Ang sabi natin sa which up until now I can't find the reason why, but excuse me, there's one article that said that you're able to see another version of that person of your
yes. Actually, kasama siya mamaya sa ating mga pros.
Oh, yun. Yan. Sige.
Pag-uusapan natin. Pero bago natin pag-uusapan yan, hello lang ako sa mga taong nanonood sa atin ngayon. Nandyan si Janina May Violago Tuazon. Hello, my dear. Nandito rin si Tita Noemi Ingal. Actually, nanay ng ex ko to. That we're friends. But we're friends, see? It can happen. Di ba? Friends kami ng nanay ng ex ko. Nandito din si Tuazon. Hindi lahat, but for me, it works. So, lucky me. Ayan, si Ma'am MJ Tuazon nandito din. Hello po, maraming salamat po at kayo po ay nakikisali sa aming mga kuro-kuro. In case hindi nyo pa po alam yung aming topic, ang aming topic ay tungkol sa pagiging magkaibigan nyo ng inyong ex. Tama ba na maging magkaibigan kayo ng iyong ex, or wag na lang kasi dami naman taong pwedeng kaibiganin. Tinapon mo na nga, sabi nga ni Michael, bakit mo pa pupulutin? Sabi niya, to borrow the words of Michael. Ayan, meron siyang comment dito, sabi niya, depende siguro sa case kung di naman ganun kalalim yung dahilan, like hindi ka gusto sa family nila, ganun, you can be friends. Madaming opportunities doon. Sabi niya, tapos niya, hi. Ayan. Oo, laging depende sa reason kung bakit yung naghiwalay ng tao. Kung shallow, madali nang maging magkaibigan. Pero kung yun nga, binugbog ka, niloko ka, ni-rape ka, nagtaksil, ninakawan ka, alam mo yun yung mga tipong kahit kaibigan mo, pag ginawa sa'yo, isusumpa mo. Siyempre, pag gano'n na yung konteksto, medyo masakit sabihin, wag ka namang letter T. Diba? Alam mo na yung pagkatao ng tao, kaya wag mo nang bigyan ng chance. Pero kung sabi ko nga, mabuti yung tao, nagkamali lang siya sa'yo bilang romantic partner, pero as a person, the person is a good person, then maybe it's worth giving a try, being friends with the person. That's my take on that. Ayan. Tapos sabi niya, medyo nakakatawa to. Ask me is greater than Budang live selling. Hoy, nakakatawa. Si Budang yung taga San Fernando, tama. I feel like once or twice ng video niya, yung nasa palengke siya, tas nagmumukbang siya or kumakain siya ng mga tusok-tusok. Nakakatawa naman si Budang. But I appreciate this kind of equation, ha? Mathematical equation. Ayan, tapos, Ronna is also watching us right now. Jill, I cannot find your comment. Where is it? Ayan, babasahin ko na lang yung comment ni Jill. Nasa cellphone ko siya pero hindi siya nag-a-appear dito sa StreamYard. Sabi niya, it's a question. Is it okay to be friends with him again? Because maybe magbalik feelings niya. Nag-break na sila.
Wait lang. Let us dissect that. Unang-una, nag-break na sila. Tapos, you'll try to initiate something para you will rekindle the fire again, the spark again.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And then the other intent is that para ma-fall siya ulit. Tama ba ako?
Yes. Para bumalik yung spark na
Bumalik ulit
nawala.
yung spark.
Mhm.
Sige ma'am, sabihin mo muli sa'yo. Ino-organize ko yung unfiltered approach kasi baka may masabi ako.
Oo. Jill, gusto mo ba yung mabait na sagot or yung medyo nasty? Kasi pag si Drew ang nagbigay ng sagot, medyo nasty. Doon ka muna sa mabait na advice.
Oo.
Hindi. For one, my dear, if honestly, yung tao or yung kapartner mo sinabi sa'yo na na-fall out of love na siya and because of that reason, nag-initiate or nag-request na siya sa'yo ng breakup, unang-una, syempre, hindi mo naman agad sasabihin na, okay, break na tayo. Tatanong mo muna kung ano yung prosesong nangyari sa kanya, bakit na-reach niya yung point na na-fall out of love siya. May nagawa ka ba? May hindi ka ba nagawa? Or babalik tayo dun sa sinabi ni Drew na, it's not you, it's me. Diba? Pero, for example, nag-decide na nga kayo, break na. Tapos ngayon, ang attempt mo, makikipagkaibigan ka para lang kumbinsihin siya ulit na, tawag dito, ma-in love ulit siya sa'yo. Alam mo kung ang dahilan ay yung pagka-fall out of love niya, ako personally, feeling ko, hindi na ikaw yung kailangang mag-effort para i-convince ulit siya na ma-fall siya sa'yo Kasi kahit na friends kayo or hindi kayo friends, kung siya na talaga yung nagsabi sa'yong wala na, wag mo na siyang kumbinsihin. Even friends kayo or hindi kayo friends, it's not worth it na i-convince mo pa rin siyang mahalin ka niya ulit. Kasi for what? Awa? Out of pity? Na, o sige na nga, mahalin na lang kita ulit kasi magkaibigan naman tayo. Let's give it another try. Love is not pitiful. Love is not pity. Although may thin line na nagse-separate sa kanilang dalawa, pero hindi sila equal. Alam mo yon? Ang pagmamahal, hindi kanya kinakaawaan. Ang pagmamahal kusa sang binibigay kasi mahal ka niya. Ang pity, pinipilit mo yun sa tao. Yung parang, mahal mo naman ako please kasi mahal pa rin kita. Hindi ganun ang pagmamahal. Dapat ang pagmamahal naturally lumalabas sa tao. 'Di ba? And again, magiging unfair sa inyo pareho. Unfair na sa'yo kasi nanghihingi ka ng awa or pagmamahal. Unfair din dun sa tao kasi iba pala yung dahilan kung bakit mo siya kinaibigan. All the while, akala ng tao, moved on ka na, kaya nakikipag-friends ka. Yun lang pala, you're trying to, give a bait. Pain. This is what you're missing out on. See? I'm a cool friend. So may in love ka ulit sa akin. Although, I cannot blame you kasi mahal mo pa rin yung tao. But if self-worth is on the line, my dear, I know it's tough to say this. 6 years, kasi kanina magka-chat kami. 6 years is 6 years. It's long years. 6 years of your life, binigay mo sa taong yon. Just give yourself some time to heal. 6 years, hindi mo yan mawawala ng 6 months. It will take some time para maka-move on ka talaga at maka-let go. But to answer your question, do not. Do not be friends with the person just because you want to convince the person to fall in love with you again. Do not beg for love. And thank you.
Actually, you were very on point already. It's a very filtered approach. Unlike what I will be saying, pero maybe just to add lang.
Ang sakit kasi.
Yeah, it's
Mama
very
ko.
painful. And to think, if I heard correctly, 6 years. I think whoever you are, I forgot the name.
Si Jill.
Si Jill. If you're listening right now, if you're tuning in right now, 6 years is more than enough already. I think again, wala tayong concrete to objectify how long Kasi iba-iba tayo ng moving on process, iba-iba tayo ng way of feeling. But one thing is for sure that you cannot just suddenly turn off feelings. That's very important. Okay? You cannot instantly just once you say na turn off feelings, patay na, hindi. It's not that easy. Okay? In that scenario though, kahit na sabihin natin hindi ko alam yung 6 years na yon. What I fear though is it might lead to an on and off relationship. That's something that we need to consider. Take note, these kinds of instances are risky. Okay, sometimes on and off siya, and eventually it will work. But there are some instances that they are on and off, but in the long run, ito yung masakit na part. Isang side na lang yung nagmamahal. Ikaw hindi. Or basta isang side na lang nagmamahal, yung isa hindi. Yan. Yun yung iniiwasan natin kasi dyan. Okay? Na parang one, you are sure about your feelings, the other is not. Okay? Siguro put into mind lagi is that you have to protect whatever thing that you're left with, and that is you. Kasi,
Yes.
alam mo yun, parang yes, I know, or I might say this wrongly, pero there are some, we love the feeling of being in love. Okay? We understand that kind, or it's natural for us to be eager, or even at some point be needy of that feeling. But we also need to consider the aspect of what am I actually in need of? Am I idea of love or the real context of love? Kasi if you are after with the idea na meron kang jowa, na meron kang karelasyon, masabi mo lang na meron kang holding hands maybe, or anything that is very much intimate, pero walang feelings involved, or one-sided lang yung feelings, I think you need to rethink it again. Okay? Again, it's okay to fall in love with the idea, but it's better to fall in love with the real context of love rather than just the imagination. O, di ba? Ay, thank you.
Yeah. Oo. And in addition to the problem of Jill then, you know what? Not really I mean, this is unfair kasi hindi ko naman nakausap yung ex mo or hindi ko siya kilala personally, no? Pero you know what? If the person is really genuinely committed to you and in love with you, kapag naramdaman mo na kasi yung falling out of love, ang dami mong pwedeng gawin to give and to bring it back. Alam mo yon, alin ba yung mas importante sa'yo? Yung nararamdaman mo or yung taong pinili mong mahalin? Diyan pumapasok yung commitment. Ako, I'm a married person. Do I love my husband or am I in love with my husband 24/7? Definitely not. May mga araw na nakakairitan, nakakainis, may away. But at the end of the day, you still choose the person eh. So gagawa ka ng paraan within you or externally para ibalik yung spark, para ma-maintain yung relationship. That's how relationships are. Especially feeling ko 6 years na kayo, so nagkaroon ng burnout. Alam mo yon? And then hindi kayo kinakasal, 6 years kayong mag-boyfriend, girlfriend. I mean, I don't know your plans really. Pero siguro yung boyfriend mo or yung ex mo na feel niya na 6 years. Parang naging stagnant ako. I was with the same person for 6 years and I'm falling out of love. So sabi ko nga, it's unfair to say na hindi siya gumawa ng paraan because I don't know the details. But definitely, if either of the parties feel na nawawalan na sila ng pagmamahal or hindi na sila in love sa isa't isa, maraming paraan para i-rekindle yun. Diba? Ngayon, kapag dumating na dun sa point na kahit anong attempt, kahit anong try, kahit anong effort, talagang wala na, at hindi na siya masaya sa'yo, at hindi ka na rin masaya kasi hindi siya masaya, then it's best to end the relationship. Minsan kasi may mga taong nahihirapan silang i-end yung relationship, not because mahal pa rin nila yung tao, it's just because ang haba nung panahon na in-spend nila dun sa tao. Alam mo yon, yung parang, ayoko mag-break kasi 6 years eh. Sayang. May mga ganun. Yung kahit na, teka lang, mahal pa ba natin yung isa't isa or nanghihinayang na lang tayo sa 6 years? May mga ganon. So, hindi ko rin masabi kung ano talagang situation ni Jill. But for what I know, ayun nga, break na, and the other person fell out of love, and yun nga, yung tanong niya, is it okay to be friends with the ex para lang ma-convince siya na mahalin niya siya ulit? And we say, both of us, don't. Oo. Take time to heal yourself on your own. Ayan.
Maybe for one thing, yeah, it's a very sad circumstance. But maybe for one thing, again, between you and me, ikaw yung mas nakakaalam. Pero based on how I dissect the question maybe, or the case maybe, I feel a certain level of confusion on her end. So, confusion in terms of moving on, in terms of relationships in general, confusion will always be something that will happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's normal. What's not normal though is that you're confused about so many cycling things. Hindi pa ulit-ulit na lang. At hindi ka naaalis din sa loop na yun. At kapag ganun nangyari, ang ibig sabihin lang nun is that you are so fixated on something that you're holding on to something at ayaw mo siyang i-let go. Maybe that's, yun yung siguro sinasabi ni V kanina na yung mga panghihinayang, yun yung pinanghahawakan mo. So maybe to such respect, maybe that's the dimension that we could assume, I guess, na there's this underlying lingering feeling that you have that actually causes, instead of enlightenment, causes more of confusion sa'yo. Okay? And yun nga, ibabalik na lang natin ulit na be gentle to yourself. Love yourself again. That's very important kasi.
Oo.
I'm not saying that there are many fishes in the sea, but actually there are many fishes in the sea. I mean, kidding aside, yeah, there are.
Ang dami. Pero yun nga kasi, the context is, it was a long-term relationship, so it's really difficult to let go of the relationship and of the person. At the same time, how do I put it? One-sided kasi. Yung guy lang yung na-fall out of love. So, alam mo yon, yung isa into the relationship pa, yung isa hindi na. Pero yun nga, like what we said, hold on to your self-worth. Do not beg for love or do not beg for him to love you again. Do not be friends with the person just to convince him to love you again. Diba? Kasi if the person really loves you, siya mismo yung how do I say it? Rewire or recalibrate or restart ng pagkatao niya or feelings niya para ma-convince niya yung sarili niyang, sige na nga, mahal ko pa rin siya. Medyo naguluhan lang ako. Parang ganun. Yeah. And we have a comment right here from Rona. She gave us 3 hearts, black hearts. Bakit black? Are you sad? Love, love. And then from Michael John Ronquillo Escoto, he said, though we cry for equality, legit yung a man is created to pursue a woman. We can pursue you too. Ayan. I don't know if you will agree with me, pero I mean, if I were single and I am into a man, I'll pursue the man. I don't mind being tagged na, uy, babae ka, ikaw naliligaw. Hindi naman sa liligawan mo literal, but you initiate things. You give hints, drop hints here and there. Pero sabi niya, a man is created to pursue a woman. Oo naman. We love it. Chivalry. And then, we have another black heart from Genesis Manalo. Actually, lumilitaw siya sa stream, black. Pero sa live ng Facebook, it's red. Ayan. Thank you very much for the heart. Ayan. And then Jill Calma is watching from UAE. Oh my gosh! Nasa UAE ka pala ngayon. Hello! Kumusta kayo dyan? Sana nasa mabuti kayong kalagayan ng ating mga kababayan na nasa ibang bansa, UAE, or saan mang parte ng dako ng mundo. Sana kayo po ay ligtas at malusog. Ayan. From Michael John, Drew.
Sabi daw ni Michael John Ronquillo Escoto, if you're the person who's looking for a sign to get out of that long and toxic relationship, you're in this.
This is it, kapatid.
This is it, kapatid. Never let the expectation of others dull your life. Alis na dyan, you're like riding a boat.
Dull your life.
Wow, that is a very deep analogy right there.
For it.
Yes.
Totoo din. Ibig sabihin walang usad. Diba?
Tama.
Illogical, insensible, diba? Oo, tama. Totoo rin naman. Ayan. Ayun, Mike, sabi ni Michael John. Hindi naman kayong naghiwalay, baka kayong nagbabatuhan ng comments. Hindi, joke lang.
Hopefully hindi.
Oo, pero that's a good perspective.
It is. Yung alam mo yun. I was caught with what Michael said, na riding a boat in the middle of a paved road. Oo nga naman. At least ride a boat that you're in high seas, na talagang uusad ka. Kung nasa ka talaga, semento, I'm sorry, wala mangyayari. Tapos kung nag-dry pa yung sementong yan, you will not move anywhere anymore.
Mm. Ayun. Sana narinig yun ni Jill, di ba? Para at least meron ding input si Michael dun sa question niya.
Oo.
And then, a quick hello lang din to Raylan Carlos Cabrera. Hello, batchmate. Kumusta ka na? Sana malusog ka. Malakas ka palagi. And then, Kathleen Joyce Gustillo. Ma'am Kath, hello. Thank you for joining the live. I also want to say hello to Jeneline De Ramos Hemino who's watching us right now, ang aking cousin-in-law from Laguna. Kumusta kayo? Sana mabuti kayo ng mga bata. Ayan. So that's number 3. Okay. Medyo lumayo tayo, but definitely, if you are friends with your ex, it's a new opportunity for you, to build another relationship with the person. Not a romantic one anymore, but friendship is also a relationship, a good one at that. Okay. And now here's number 4, which is one of my favorites, pros or advantages. Okay. The 4th one is that being friends with your ex shows a lot of maturity. Sir Drew, you have the copy of our list. May you read for us number 4?
Number 4 is shows your maturity. Your ability to maintain a healthy friendship with your former partner requires a certain level of maturity. People sometimes just grow apart, or the timing might just have been wrong. It is very mature to be able to accept that the two of you weren't meant to be together. I think we were able to open this up a while ago na for you to have this agreement to after a breakup is that you have this level of maturity to admit to one another that you cannot be together as something intimate, something romantic, but you can just move together as friends. I think that's a very beautiful to consider. Kasi alam mo yun, it's better not to preserve whatever thing that you have left as friends, other than just making it so complicated and so very dramatic. The last thing that we need to do to add in our life is drama, actually.
Yes. But we have to open it up to or discuss it too. Na maturity doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long process to be mature enough to accept that things did not work out and it's okay to be friends. Like yung sinabi kanina ni Larissa, I think she and her ex-partner are really mature enough to remain friends because, for one, they have children. Diba? Sinet aside na nila yung immaturity or yung personal dilemma nila na, alam mo yun, hindi tayo work out as boyfriends and girlfriends or mom and dad, but we have to work together as parents.
Yeah.
Diba? So nagkakaroon na siya ng ibang dynamics ngayon na, yun nga, hindi tayo compatible as couple, but as the creators of these children, we have to do something and we have to remain civil and friends, or if not friends, at least civil with one another para sa mga bata.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Another thing that we could consider is yung parang the both of you are bringing back emotional baggages back into your life na friends na kayo. Yun yung medyo you really need to have this level of maturity to accept those instances. Kasi kung meron lang siya bringing back na dati, wala na.
And sabi din dito, people sometimes just grow apart or the timing might just have been wrong. Diba? What if the situation or the reason why you broke up or why you ended the relationship was just because you were not ready, you were not mature enough, or the timing was off? Nasa school kayo pareho, iba yung priorities nyo, nag-aaral pa kayo, you're trying to build your dreams, try to achieve all your plans. Tapos you went separate ways. Just because of those reasons, you'll throw each other away or the opportunity to remain in communication with one another. Diba? But if you decided na, alam mo yun, maturely, you sat down, nag-usap kayo, okay, I plan to do this after college. You plan to do that after college. Maybe for now, the relationship will not work because of our choices, but let's remain friends. Who knows, one day, we'll end up together. Diba? Kaso lang kasi, most breakup, nangyayari sila kasi, 1, na-fall out of love. 2, may third party. 3, walang time. 4, sobra sa ML. 5, palaging lasing. Alam mo yung mga dahilan talaga na nag-a-accumulate na parang, okay, let's just end it. napakadalang sa relationship yung magbe-break sila kasi mali yung timing, alam mo yon, or magkaiba sila ng gustong gawin, pero mahal pa rin nila yung isa't isa. Usually, pag nagbe-break, you've fallen out of love or there are reasons that you could not change anymore or fix anymore. Diba? But then, if, yun nga, sabi nga natin, if both of you are mature enough to sit down and talk about the breakup in a very civil way, yung walang bangayan, walang iyakan, walang sampalan, walang bugbugan, then it shows that both of you are mature to let go of each other and to let go of the relationship and then eventually become friends. And who knows, one day, with the intervention of the universe and the Almighty, kayo pala talaga para sa isa't isa. Oh, that hurts.
Hindi naman, it's ano lang, at least may direction siya. Pero hindi siya concrete tsaka visible direction.
Oo.
Anyway, nandiyan lang siya, parang option lang. Pero for even though nasa item 4 pa lang tayo, kung napapansin ng mga listeners and viewers is that if you really are eager to have your to rekindle the flame again as friends, it is not one-sided. It took the both of you to fall in love. It took the both of you to establish the relationship and sustain the relationship. And it will also take the both of you to enable the relationship to work as friends.
Yes.
Ang saklap, no? Kahit sa pinakadulo, kayo pa rin dalawa. So, alalahanin niyo po mabuti yung ganong dynamic. It's always the two of you. You need to have the both of you to consider. Okay?
I think what Drew is telling our audience right now is you don't need to force the person to be friends with you. I mean, if on your own you're okay and you wanna be friends, wag naman yung tipong, "Uy, I'm okay na, so we can be friends." Kailangan mutual, consenting, na parehong okay na kayo para maging magkaibigan. Diba? Wag yung ikaw lang yung gustong magkipagkaibigan. Kung yung tao uncomfortable pa rin to be friends with you after the breakup, kahit 10 years after na yan, for sure kasi may mga dahilan at pag-uusapan natin yan sa mga cons, wag mo naman din puwersahin yung sitwasyon. Diba? Respect the choice of the other person. Right? Ayan, I just want to say hello quickly to Krisha Mariel Timpog. She's watching us right now. Hello, Krisha. Thank you for joining the live stream. So that is number 4. If you become friends with your ex, it shows maturity, okay, which does not happen overnight like what we said. And it has to be mutual, diba? And there are factors that, will make the both of you decide to be mature about the situation. Like in the case of Larissa, they have children. Or in other cases, yun nga, nag-break lang kayo because you have different priorities or you were too young back then. Alam mo yun, hindi nyo ma-prioritize yung relationship and so on and so forth. But then again, maturity is a factor when it comes to deciding should you be friends with your ex still. All right? And that is number 4. Now let's go to number 5. The last of the advantages or the pros. Okay, this was the thing that you were telling me about a while back.
Yeah.
You get to see a different side of the person. Please read the context, Sir Drew.
Sabi dito, you get to see a different side. Now that this person isn't your romantic partner, you can see them in a different light. There's no more trying to constantly cater to each other and make each other happy. You're friends now, and you don't have to sugarcoat anything to avoid a big fight.
I like that.
You don't have to sugarcoat anything.
It's true. Kasi we have to admit it. Kapag boyfriend or girlfriend natin, medyo filtered pa rin yung paano tayo makipag-usap sa kanila. Kasi we are worried na baka ma-offend sila, masaktan natin sila, or pag-awayan natin yung sasabihin natin. But once you become friends with your ex, bahala ka. I'll tell you all the hurtful things that I was not able to tell you in the past.
Yeah.
Like, your breath stinks, your fart smells. Di ba yung mga ganon?
Pero yun nga, please make sure that when you open that up, item 4, mature na kayong dalawa, ha? Para all of a sudden na you're bringing back previous experiences, things from the past, emotional baggages, na kahit pa paano na-trigger ka. Dapat wala lang ganun. Parang, if these are very much unfiltered, you take them as they are. Parang, sige, really? Tapos magkulitan na kayo doon. Ikaw din naman, yung mga ganun mga aspect. So, alam mo yun, I know it's so easy to say na just be friends, pero as friends, you understand the boundaries kasi eh. Yung alam mo yun, you understand na, if I say this, it's I should not initiate something that's very romantic. If I do this, dapat hanggang dito lang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
pero eventually, yun nga, I would definitely agree na kung dati kasi hindi niya or behavior niya or actions yan, dahil kasi you are together in a relationship and right now, iba na kasing konteksto niya.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why, this is what I'm actually trying to point out niya, na it's very important that you start off as friends. And para makita mo kung ano yung difference niya once you are in an intimate relationship already. In the long run, kung gusto niyo pa rin na maging friends kayo, makikita or after current. Parang ganong dynamics.
Yep. Although I have to say na a healthy relationship, a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, if you wanna make it a healthy one, dapat honest pa rin kayo sa isa't isa. Kasi dun sa article, parang ang konteksto niya, kapag mag-boyfriend at mag-girlfriend kayo, you sugarcoat things, the things you say to one another. But the truth is, kapag talaga yung relationship nyo is also built on trust and friendship, you may be honest. You can be honest to one another kahit hindi filtered yung pinagsasabi nyo sa isa't isa. Kasi it's important that you tell each other the truth. Diba? Siguro yung point niya for sugarcoating things is yun nga. Kung initial relationship pa lang yan, early months of the relationship, hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin sa girlfriend mo, uy, nambaho ng hininga mo. Or, naligo ka ba today? Yung mga ganong klaseng considerations na minsan, iisipin mo muna kung tama bang sabihin mo. Pero like with your friends, kung friend mo na yung ex mo, kahit anong kabalahura ang sabihin mo sa kanya, tatanggapin niya because that's what friends are, di ba?
Yeah.
We never really sugarcoat things with each other. We just tell each other up front kung ano yung gusto nating sabihin kahit masaktan pa natin yung isa't isa because we are genuinely caring for the person. And there's always a way to say nasty things in a nice way.
Tama.
Diba? Ayan, a quick hello lang to another viewer of ours, kay Jerry Ingal. Ito, ex ko to. O see? Pero nanonood. See? Sabi ko sa inyo, it's okay to be friends with your exes. Am I convincing you enough now, Drew?
Nah.
Ayan. So anyway, that's number 5. There are only 5 advantages why you should be friends with your ex, okay? So you get to see a different side. Let's try to elaborate on that. Siguro kung dati feeling mo yung boyfriend mo or girlfriend mo boring, tapos nung biglang naging friends mo na lang siya, huy, you have this fun side pala. Diba? Yung parang dati hindi pala siya yung nakikipag-converse sa'yo, then biglang friends, ang kulit lang. Alam mo yon? Kasi nga, wala na yung inhibitions. Wala na yung pretension. Kaya na niyang maging sarili niya dahil hindi na niya kailangan i-impress ka, hindi na kailangan to step forward, hindi na kailangan laging mabango siya or laging, alam mo yon, maganda yung pinapakita niya. The truth about his character is being shown to you because now he's comfortable and he trusts you enough because you consider him or her as your friend. Diba?
Pero may ako dyan may, dito, rebuttal ba? Hindi naman rin rebuttal. Basta may issue ako dyan.
Sige.
Just make sure that if that happens, huwag kang ma-fall, no? As in, word of caution, ha? I mean, you've decided together that you will no longer be friends. I mean, you will no longer be in a relationship. You will just stick as friends. Seryosohin mo yung pinag-usapan niyo. Huwag kang ma-fall sa mga bagay-bagay. Ay, meron pala siyang ganyong side. Tapos na-in love ka na naman. No. Busina kapag gano'n, ha? Busina. Wait. Kumatok ka muna ulit para maintindihan mo ulit yung pinag-usapan ninyo.
Yeah, I agree. Which brings us to the cons. Ayan. So kung merong upside, meron namang downside kapag naging friends kayo ng ex nyo. So pag-usapan natin yung unang-una. Ito yung sinasabi kanina ni Michael John Escoto na you'll never have to take what you've already thrown away because exes are exes for a reason. Okay? The reason...
Can I reiterate that? Kaya
sure.
Nga ex mo siya Ex, tapos na, pass na, period, yun na yun. Masakit na po ba? Sorry guys. Sorry. Ulitin ko, kaya nga ex mo siya. Ex na siya sa buhay ninyo.
Oo, pero pag-usapan din natin, bakit muna naging ekis sa buhay mo? Kasi yung
Ayun, yun
reason
din kailangan ng clarify.
dahilan, 'di ba? Yung reason, yun yung talaga yung deciding factor kung kailangan ba, dapat ba, pwede ba na maging magkaibigan pa rin kayo. So kanina nga sabi natin kung yung reason or yung relationship nyo nag-end on a good note and then pwede mo pa rin i-trust yung tao, then you have a reason to be friends with the person. Pero kung yung reason ay yung mga toxic reasons na, aba mag-isip-isip ka, an ex is an ex for a reason.
Reason. Yeah.
Diba?
Especially when they bring about negative experiences or emotions from the past.
Yes.
Yun yung sinasabi ni V na yung reason or yung toxicity na instead of a very memorable relationship, it was really challenging and at the same time toxic. So you opt not to continue it as in a friendship kasi alam mo it didn't actually work in the romantic side, so in a friendlier side. Parang something is stopping you because of those memories or those experiences.
Mm-hmm. And also, if the person or the relationship, caused you emotional trauma, alam mo yun, yung kahit alam mong moved on ka na, pero every time you see the person or every time you think of the person or kahit makausap mo lang yung tao, may flashes of the experience that you had with the person. Kung ganun ka-traumatic, well, again, don't be friends with the person anymore. Because to be friends with someone, this may sound selfish, no? Pero to be friends with someone really is to gain something good from the person. The friendship, the communication, the perks of having friends. But then again, kung yung nare-receive mo dun sa taong yun is the toxicity nga or the trauma, then it's not really a good idea to be friends with that person. Lalong-lalo na kung alam mong hindi lang siya may pagkukulang sa'yo as a boyfriend or girlfriend, meron din siyang mga nakakatakot na ugali as a person. Na nakawala ka na, alam mo yun, kung tipong nung kayo, binubugbog ka, sinasampal ka, minumura ka, oy, bakit ka makikipagkaibigan sa ganong klaseng tao? 'Di ba? So, kailangan mo rin pag-isipan yun. Yes, Drew.
Yeah. Going back na sa, ano pangalan ni Madam kanina, yung question niya kanina.
Kay Jill?
Yeah, I think we can add that further sa item na to kasi let's get it straight na to be friends with your ex can be tempting. Kasi
it is.
Marami tayong gagawa tayong mga reasons bakit. Okay? Sometimes very logical ones, sometimes not that logical ones. But bottom line is it is tempting. Pero please be mindful that if you are to decide on that, you should not be deciding it alone. Dapat kayong dalawa dyan. So if there's a reason for the both of you to come back together as friends, then it's what you have the consent of each other. So if it's only one of you who likes it, of course, syempre, kung kapag kayong dalawa, ayaw din talaga.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yep. And yun nga, what happened in the past should stay in the past. Yun yung isang consideration then why exes are exes for a reason. Diba? A very quick hello lang to our viewers. John Joshua Jimenez and Tita Jess Pangilinan is watching us right now. Thank you po, Tito, for joining the live stream. Ayan, we are on the first topic for the disadvantages or the downsides of being friends with your ex. Ayun nga, exes are exes for a reason. And tama rin yung sinabi ni Sir Drew na you have to be sure din talaga na mutual palagi. Whether you decide to be friends or not anymore after the breakup. Okay? Ayan. So, kayo na po yung makakapag-decide kung yung reason ninyo is enough to be friends, to remain friends with the person, or reason enough not to be friends with the person. Okay? Whatever your reason is, be sure it's for the betterment of the two of you.
Yeah.
Kasi kapag nakipag-friends ka tapos you have all the wrong reasons, iikot at iikot ka lang. It's a cyclical, never-ending process na hindi mo alam mo yun, hindi ka na makakawala. Yeah. It's an entrapment.
Huwag yung sundan yung kanta na ikot-ikot. Yeah. Wag. Okay.
Pwede ba yung kay Mandy Moore, can we still be friends? We can't play this game anymore, but can we still be friends? I like that song. Anywho, so that's number one. Exes are exes for a reason. And then this is the next one. Aha, the past.
Mahaba siya. Basahin mo.
The past can get in the way. So let me read again. This is from our source. Sabi dito, basa, Alien, Brad Pitt. So, the two of you have decided to be friends and hang out. Well, when you have a history with someone, old feelings can creep up and take over. This can lead to awkward and confusing situations, like maybe we should get back together conversations. Furthermore, if the two of you get into an argument as friends, old emotions from the relationship can be brought back into the picture. So, even if you know, or even if what happened in your relationship doesn't pertain to the argument at hand, people might start thinking or hitting below the belt. Ito yan. Huwag
I think we
assuming.
were hinting that item a while ago already na
Mhm.
alam mo yun, na parang I think na-mention ko yun doon sa last item nun sa pros na make sure that when you're able to find something different from your ex, and then all of a sudden na parang, uy, di ko yun nakita dati just make
Mhm.
sure na hanggang dun lang siya.
Yes.
At walang feelings involved. Wala yung parang, ay, bakit gano'n? Bakit parang mas nagiging gwapo siya ulit? No!
Parang mahal ko na naman siya.
Parang, just old stuff.
And then, totoo naman kasi.
Totoo nga yun.
Lalong-lalo na kung halimbawa, nung naging friends mo yung ex mo, ngayon siya gumanda, ngayon siya gumwapo, ngayon siya nagka-muscle, at ngayon siya sexy. Alam mo yung attraction? Hindi po, wait lang. Bakit nung tayo hindi ka ganyang kaganda or kagwapo, tapos ngayong friends tayo ganyang kaka-attractive, oh my gosh, single pa tayo pareho, pwede kaya ang second chance? Diba? Nangyayari kasi yun.
Well, for one thing, oo nga naman, bakit meron akong balahibo o nabasa din siya? Pero for one, yung pusa ko kasi ay nandyan. I'm sorry for the disturbance.
It's okay.
Pero for one thing nga naman, just make sure that, alam mo yun, take hold of your emotions, boy. don't be overwhelmed with an all of a sudden. Again, wag kang assuming at saka wag kang pa-fall or ma-fall kaagad-agad. Kasi you've already ended it. Well, again, hindi ko naman sinasabi na sometimes it will not work. Maybe in the long run, in the very, very, very near future, it might work, but it's not a very clear-cut direction. Nandyan lang siya. Posible. Pero hindi mo pwede masabi, yan yung conclusion. Hindi siya. Okay? So, malay mo, it would na, uy, ganda-ganda niya ngayon. Uy, nagbago yung ugali. Uy, mas naging maalaga na siya ngayon. Sige, try to absorb it, but please take it with caution. Wag yung parang, tikman mo lang siya. parang sinabi ko yun. Pero tikman mo lang yung instance na yun. Okay? Pero wag mo siyang lamunin. Parang ang pangit na sinabi ko.
Gets ko naman yung analogy. Yes.
Okay. So ganun lang siya.
Actually, dito pumapasok yung sinasabi nila na you can never, ano ba yun? You can be lovers with your friends, but you can never be friends with your lovers. Kasi if you become friends with your lovers, that means hindi mo talaga minahal yung tao. Alam mo yun, may mga ganun kasing kasabihan eh. Parang, kung kaya mong maging kaibigan yung ex mo, ibig sabihin hindi ganun kalalim yung pagmamahal or attraction na nagkaroon ka para sa taong yun. Kasi whether you like it or not, you fall out of love, pero merong remnants sa puso mo dun sa taong yun. Something to that effect. Yeah. Pero nga, sabi ni Sir Drew, if you decided to be friends with your ex, make sure it's platonic. At kung may mga nakikita kang magaganda na naman dun sa taong yun, acknowledge, pero wag mong i-entertain unless, pareho kayong single, okay, wala kayong pananagutan kahit kanino, at willing na naman kayong mag-risk.
Tama.
Kasi remember, nag-break kayo sa umpisa. Nag-decide kayong maging friends. Ngayon, ini-enjoy nyo na naman yung company, itsura ng isa't isa. So, magde-decide na naman kayong maging lovers. Is it worth another shot? Baka the next time na mag-break up kayo, hindi na kayo makapag-decide na maging friends ulit kasi masyado nang naging toxic. Here we go again. Break tayo. Let's be friends again. Here we go again. Let's fall in love again. Ano ba talaga? Make up your mind, di ba? Be committed with each other.
For one thing, which is one of my favorite songs, though, yung tapang kanta tayo ngayon, di ba? Even though it's so easy to say it in the song, it's very difficult to start over again.
Oh.
You might say na, madali lang to start over again and so on and so forth. No, it's not. It takes a lot of courage and readiness for you to move forward and start over again.
And hindi mo rin kasi masasabi kahit na sabihin na nating nagbago kayo pareho for the better ngayon, hindi mo rin masasabi na yung paraan kung paano kayo mag-cope sa relationship nagbago eh. Probably you're two different people now but you still deal with relationships the same way. Baka yung mga issues niyo before, ganun pa rin, alam mo yon, kaya nga hindi nag-workout, etc. etc. unless you've really changed. And masasabi niyo this time you are better people and you are more ready to be in that commitment with the person. Tandaan nyo, even though you're friends, masakit paglaruan ng puso. Di ba?
Masakit yung statement na yun. Pero totoo.
Di ba?
Masakit pero totoo.
Kadalasan kasi pag halimbawa, masaya na kayo bilang friends, di ba? Tapos may kilig moments and all that, attracted na naman kayo sa isa. Tapos may isip mo, uy, tayo na lang ulit. Hindi siya ganun eh. You don't base your decisions sa emotions lang. Mag-isip ka din.
Tama.
Nag-break na kayo dati.
Tama.
And there was a reason kung ba't kayo nag-break dati. Nag-decide lang kayong maging friends ngayon. So, is it still worth another shot? Diba? And another thing, sige, go ahead.
Hindi, sasabihin ko, kapag gano'n, magdala kayong checklist. Ilagay na. Ay, dito na siya. Check.
Uy, teka lang. Pwede to
Pwede. Pero kapag natapos yun yung checklist, huwag ka agad-agad. No? Pag-isipan nyo ulit. Kayo, mag-deliberate kayo.
Yeah. And then, here's another thing. Supposing hindi naman kayo nai-inlove sa isa't isa again. Alam mo yun, platonic na nga, talagang wala nang pagmamahal. But then, bilang magkaibigan, sabi nga ng article, bigla kayong nag-away. Hindi maiiwasan yung magbabatuhan kayong, alam mo, ganyan ka nung tayo eh.
Oo.
Kaya nga tayo nag-break dahil sa ugali mong yan eh. Ano pa bang connection ng past, di ba? Friends na nga lang kayo ngayon. Pero it's inevitable na masabi or makapagbitaw ka ng ganong statement, lalo na kung heightened na yung discussion.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Totoo yun.
And it's actually inappropriate to bring in that past situation kasi ano bang implication nun? Friends na nga lang tayo eh. Kahit mag-away tayo ngayon, magbabati rin naman tayo or whatever. But we're no longer couple. So, ba't mo ba i-bring up yon? Alam mo, nung tayo, ng babae ka eh, or ng lalaki ka eh, kaya ka ganyan eh. Ba't mo isusumbat yon? But that can happen.
Tama.
Diba? So, that is one of the cons of being friends with your ex. Minsan, yung dati, bumabalik in a good way or in a negative way.
Yeah, totoo yun.
Mm-mm.
It's either something that's a blessing or something on you for the rest of your life. Parang ganun.
Yes.
Dynamic.
And hopefully, if you're friends with your ex, sana you're the kind of person na wag mo nang i-bring up yung past kapag nag-uusap kayo. Past is past. Diba? Nag-decide na kayo maging friends ngayon. So, pag-usapan nyo na lang yung goodness ng relationship nyo ngayon at hindi kung ano man yung naka-harm sa inyong dalawa before. Kasi it's not gonna be helpful. What for? Di naman kayo nag-aate magbalikan. What for? Are you trying to ruin, the confidence of each other, the character of one another? Assassination ba to?
That brings a very good point as well na kung ang intention nyo lang to be friends with one another ay sirain siya, just don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's yun? Just be lang. Intention mo is to, sige, let's be friends. Pero meron kang side intention or ano mang gusto mong gawin para maybe to keep eye on that person, para tignan ano yun. I think that's something criminal already. Just don't do it. Baka makasuhan ka pa ng kung ano-ano mga batas na involved doon.
Yeah. Ayun. So this is one of the disadvantage of being friends, like, pwede talagang mag-interfere ang past sa present. Lalong-lalo na kung hindi kayo ganun ka-mature at ka-responsible dun sa decision nyo to become friends with each other. Okay, so this is one of the disadvantages na pwede nyong pag-isipan. Should you be thinking right now kung dapat ba akong makipagkaibigan sa ex ko or hayaan ko na lang na, let bygones be bygones and let exes be exes, period. Di ba? So sa ating viewers right now, join the conversation. Ano pong tingin nyo? Kailangan ba talagang makipagkaibigan tayo sa mga ex natin or hayaan na lang natin sila dahil marami na tayong mga amigo at amiga? Diba? We respect everybody's decision naman. Let us know you're here. Put your comments on the comment section of this live stream. Pwede po mga katanungan yan, pwedeng mga suhestyon, opinion, violent reactions, mga problemang gusto nyong idulog sa aming lupon. Ayan, pwede po. And so that is number 2 of the disadvantages. Now let's go to the third one. And it's all about intimacy. Oh, Sir Drew. Aha. Oo, 8-11. Pwede na yan.
Pwede na yan.
Maaga tayong matutulog ngayon dahil may trabaho tayo bukas.
Ay, may trabaho pa all bukas. Ito na naman ang bagong week. Ang sabi dito, should I read it?
Yep.
Let's face it, if you're going to be friends with your ex, you're probably very comfortable with them. So when you're together, could be tempted to act in a more than friendly way. Gusto ko yung more than friendly way. Like the saying goes, old habits die hard.
Oh, that is true. Let's admit it, nung kayo, syempre may mga physical intimacy nagaganap. Ngayong hindi na kayo, you decided to be friends, platonic. Diba? Platonic. Walang touch here, touch there. Walang kiss here, kiss there. But, in connection to number 2, the past can get in the way. What if you're hanging out, Netflix and chill? Biglang nag-brush kayo ng balikat or whatever, then biglang, whoops! I kind of feel something going on. parang kagaya ng past. Parang, wait lang. Some butterflies right there. Parang, should I give in? Should I, take the temptation? Please, don't. Ito yung sinasabi kanina ni Alan Carlos na friends with benefits. So, since naging romantically involved kayo in the past and now you're platonically friends with one another, may chance ba that we enjoy the perks that we did before dahil magkaibigan tayo ngayon? Kayo guys, mais kayo.
Gusto ko yung talaga. Although for one thing, let's try to contextualize it, okay? Attraction is very different from feelings of love. Okay? It's very different. Often, we experience attraction, but we don't feel immediate love.
Yes.
Hanggang dun lang siya. So, that logic will be applied in the instance na magkasama kayo ng ex nyo. There will be sometimes that you will feel a certain level of attraction to this person. Okay? When I say attraction, marami yan. Or something that you're very basta natitipuhan mo. Pero yun nga, you really need to understand your feelings towards this person. If what you're actually feeling is something else or something more. Okay. Of course, we cannot tell you that what's wrong or right kasi sabi nga yan, in terms of attraction, everything is it's very pretty much fair. Okay, pero yun nga, it's very risky. Just make sure if you're ready to, if you're willing to play, you're ready to play with fire and thunder and storms and earthquakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yan, yung mga bagay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I have to say as well na, alam nyo, if you're adults already and you're friends with your exes, tapos you decided to become friends with benefits, isa lang ang gusto kong i-consider you dito. Be sure that both of you are single.
Yeah.
Okay? Kung ano mang kalokohan ang gusto nyong gawin as friends, no? Walang commitment, walang attachment, yung paggising nyo kinabukasan, you're still friends even if you did the deed nung gabing yon. Just be sure you're not answerable to anyone but to yourself. And make sure na after the deed, wag kang magtatanong at magre-reflect, uy, ba't parang may pagmamahal pa rin yung ginawa namin? Bakit parang ganito? Hindi po. Naiinip lang kayo.
Oo, totoo yan. itatak nyo sa isip tsaka puso kaluluwa ninyo. Let's do this, but don't you ever fall in love. Parang ganun.
Oo, 'di ba? Or minsan naman, pag ginawa nila yung deed, dun nila nafi-figure out na meron pa nga pala. Kasi may mga tao din namang hindi nila nagagawa yung sexual activity na walang emotions eh. Alam mo yun, hindi lang siya lust. So, depende talaga sa situation. But should you decide to do the deed, be sure that you are consenting adults, both of you agreed to it. And the morning after, alam niyo yung ginawa niyo. Hindi yung tipong, ba't tayo magkatabi? Anong nangyari? Diba? Ba't natin ginawa yun?
Dapat may consent yun
Mm-hmm. Diba? And kung bata-bata pa kayo, I don't suggest na gawin niyo yun. Kasi risque. It's a risk. Ayan, si Justin, hello. Dude, do you wanna go? Kasi remember nung last live stream natin, sabi niya, I'm still friends with my ex. Probably you could, share some insights to us.
Yeah, dude. Join us.
If you're ready right now,
I force
let me know. I'll send you a link if you're ready now. I did not invite you because we started early, 6:30, and that's 6:30 a.m. right there. But if you're ready now and you have nothing to do, let us know. I'll send you a link. And then, coming from Larissa De Leon Dizan, she said, ayun na nga, if toxic yung relationship, wag na, diba? Ha, ha, ha. Sabi niya. Favorite niya to, yung connect niya. Ito yung follow-up niya. Go, Sir Drew.
Ay, sabi nito, be honest with each other if friends lang. Friends lang talaga with crying smile. Saka, you have to do it safely. Baka nalasing and chill lang ka. Totoo naman. Yun yung sinasabi namin kanina. Na dapat mutual. Dapat consenting siya. Okay?
Yep. Dapat talaga consenting siya. Pareho yung gusto. Kasi, grabe naman. Ay, ayun, sabi ni Justin, ha ha ha, sure, I just woke up. We don't care. That's how bad we do, but
yeah, we do care, but not that much.
Ayan, another comment right here from Michael. Sabi niya, madami na akong kaibigan. Hahaha, auto-pass. Pero kung ibabalik yung Tupperware ng mama ko,
ay, nako. Stories about Tupperware talaga. So Filipino. That is so us.
This was what I was telling you. Kapag hindi ka pa sigurado sa karelasyon mo, wag mo munang papakilala kay tita. Kasi sayang yung Tupperware.
Totoo yun. Ano ba?
Balik ng Tupperware.
Mahal-mahal pa naman yun.
Ipapamana mo. Brand.
Ano sa apo sa tuhod?
This is so funny. This is one of the funniest comments I've ever read for tonight. Tupperware ng mama niya talaga yung concern niya, not even the relationship or the heartache.
Uy, syempre, institusyon yun sa bawat bahay-bahay.
Totoo. Meron bang household na hindi nagkaroon ng Tupperware? Diba? Lahat yata may Tupperware tayo. Ano yan? Staple sa bahay yan. Kapag hindi kayo nagkaroon ng Tupperware, naku, ewan ko na lang. Ayun. So yun nga, going back to our topic, intimacy, no? We are not here to judge you should you engage into that kind of relationship with your ex, being friends with them, no? Just be sure you're responsible enough. Diba? Ayun. Sige, take it away, Sir Drew. Kakausapin ko muna si Justin.
Sige lang. Yung nga, sabi nga, just be responsible. Again, this is a very risky thing to do, okay? When you're trying to fall when you're trying to establish yourself as friends with each other, it's risky. It's already a risk to fall in love and sustain it, but it's also a risk to in love and to be with friends, and at the same time have this kind of parang dynamic with each other na lagi kasama na kayo. You'll be mutual with each other. Kaya nga, it boils down to what we've mentioned a while ago na you really need to establish this time for yourself. Okay? Mm-hmm. Kasi kung hindi, baka once na doon na instance na ayun na, parang feeling mo there are some clues, there are some certain signs. Eto ka na naman, ang puso mo sobrang marupok, ayun na.
Mm-hmm.
Bigla-bigla, naramdaman mo yung mga hindi dapat maramdaman. Okay? Yes. Just make sure that your heart is very ready to accept whatever thing or experience that you will go through.
Mhm. And we're not only talking about sexual intimacy here. We're also considering emotional and verbal intimacy. Baka naman platonic friends lang kayo, biglang, uy, good morning, kumain ka na, uy, nasan ka na, uy, sunduin kita mamaya. Hoy, hindi kayo
Yes.
friends. Kung ganon. My God to
Tama.
you.
Meron na nangyayari pero wala kayong label. Ganun yun. Ano gusto nyo? Walang label? Hindi pwede walang
Oo.
label. Dapat meron.
Lahat may label. So, i-clarify nyo din sa isa't isa, ano bang definition mo ng friend? Ito ang definition ko ng friend. Ang friend, alam mo yun, kapag may problema ako, pwede kitang kausapin. Pero ang friend pala sa kanya, kailangan magka-text tayo 24/7. Kailangan nakikita kita 24/7. Kailangan sinusundo kita, kumakain tayo araw-araw magkasama. Oy, parang walang nag-iba. Parang tayo pa rin. Or 'di ba? Friends tayo, hindi ka pwedeng mag-flirt sa iba, hindi ka pwedeng makipag-date. Ay, bakit? Friends tayo, 'di ba? So you have to have a common ground of the definition of friends. Baka kasi friends nga kayo by label, pero yung mga ginagawa nyo sa isa't isa at ginagawa nyo para sa isa't isa more than friends. Kasi nga dati kayong mag-ex. Okay? So be very careful dun sa intimacy part na yon. Verbal intimacy, emotional intimacy, sexual, lalo na sexual intimacy. Nako, kasi that's a risk. Mga marurupok dyan, konting bola lang, bumibigay na. Sorry. Fire shot. Ayan. We have a comment right here from Larissa Dison. She said, don't mistake the deed to any feelings. Guard your heart always. Yeah.
Ay,
Not
kailangan
only
ng
your
slow.
heart. Actually meron kaming private joke sa isa't isa sa barkada namin ni na Sergio. We don't ask each other or we don't force each other to just guard our hearts. We even tell each other, guard your flower, guard your this and that. No, seriously. Kasi yung mga marurupok, di ba? Madali lang i-guard yung heart. Pero yung flower, minsan ayaw yung i-guard kasi, yun nga, dahil sa karupukan, sa temptasyon, and everything else. So, don't just guard your feelings, guard your body too. Okay?
Guard your body. Guard your entire being. Maglagay kayo ng mga maraming locks. As long as you're in the process of protecting yourself. Once you're ready, then you remove those locks bit by bit. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Ayan, bumalik na si Alan Carlos dito. Play, ito na yung topic mo kanina, yung friends with benefits. So, nasa part na tayo ng intimacy. It's one of the disadvantages of being friends with your ex. Minsan, nakakalimutan nating mag-ex kayo at magkaibigan na lang kayo at minsan may mga nagagawang magic.
Gusto ko yung magic.
Pag magkasama. Diba?
Magic.
Okay lang sana kung single kayo pareho Kaso hindi naman ganun yung sitwasyon. Minsan kahit magkaibigan kayo, yung isa may karelasyon na.
Tama.
At pag-uusapan natin yan maya-maya. Meron tayong item dito na nagsasabing kapag may karelasyon na yung isa, teka lang, pag-isipan naman natin kung dapat pa bang maging magkaibigan tayo. Ayun. Antay-antay lang natin si Justin kasi may trabaho daw siya ng 10:00 pero itatry niyang mag 1 hour stay or cameo role dito sa ating live stream. No pressure, dude. You know, any minutes or seconds, we appreciate it. All right. That is number 3. Alana, we're still waiting for your comment. And then Jessica Dayrit is also watching us right now. And here is number 4. Family feud. Anong ibig sabihin ng family feud? Read it, Sir Drew.
Akala ko sabihin ko yung laro yan, di ba? Family feud.
Yes, in the US.
Anyways, sabi dito, being friends with your ex can be hard, especially if the two of you share friends, go to the same school, work together, and especially these are close, as if it's not already hard enough to see your ex amongst your friends or every day at work or school. It becomes especially hard when your family is more heartbroken than you are about the relationship, and they already had flowers, music, you for your wedding mapped out, and now their hopes and dreams have been crushed and they will not let you forget it.
Ito yung sinasabi kanina ni Michael.
Oo.
Yung Tupperware.
Oo. Yung Tupperware. Diba? Ibalik nyo.
Binrake mo na nga yung heart nung anak ni tita, hindi mo pa binalik yung Tupperware na pinahiram sa'yo nung pinadalhan ka ng spaghetti after nung binyagan ng pamangkin nila. May storyline ako, di ba?
Bilis na na.
Hindi, seryoso. Whether you like it or not kasi, sabi ko nga dun sa dati nating discussion, when you become boyfriends and girlfriends, whether you like it or you don't, you involve your friends and your family. And speaking of family, I'll up my cousin to the stream. Hello. Whoa, good morning.
What's up?
How you
Morning.
doing, man?
Sleepy.
Did we wake you up?
No, I woke up on time. I was like, Mama Cory was on doing the host party. I was like, wait, you guys are doing another.
Yeah, every Sunday we do. I just did not invite you because I thought 6:30 is too early and you will not be able to wake up that early.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So why don't you greet our viewers right now? Justin is from Virginia. Say hello to
Hey.
our viewers.
Hey guys, I'm back at it again.
Uh-huh. And our topic for tonight is kind of, related to you because it's about being friends with your ex. Sorry.
It's that's a biggie. It's kind of like a risk on that.
It is definitely. We've already talked about the pros a while ago. There were 5. And now we are on the downsides. And we're on the
Okay.
4th one. It's family feud. It simply means that when you become friends with your ex, you tend to become in a tiptoe kind of situation with the friends and the families as well.
Yep.
Kasi parang they've expected a lot from you as a couple. They've already built plans for you as a couple. And eventually, when you broke up, then you decided to be friends again. Parang sila din nako-confuse. So what's your take on this?
If the relationship ended positively and you guys are friends, okay naman. That means it's like nothing happened. Pero it's like giving that respect na you guys don't want to be a couple, pero you just want to spend time with one another. Pero like I said, it's a risk. Kasi you've involved so much, like you invested so much into it. So it's but yeah, it's for me. Even though I'm friends with one of my exes, I keep it that boundary line. If you're friends with your multiple exes, that means you are not focusing on yourself. So.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions right now going on because again, there are 2 guys whom I can ask for opinions right now. First question is, what if your family or your friends insist on you not being friends with your ex anymore? Like, your parents said, "Uy, anak, di ba nag-break na kayo ni ano? Bakit ka pa nakikipagkaibigan sa kanya?" Or your friends, parang, "Yo, man, bakit naman? You've broken up already. How come you're still cool and chill with this person?" Do you consider those kinds of opinions from friends and families regarding, being friends with your exes or one of your exes? Anyone can answer first.
Juju. I just to wake up.
No, it's okay.
Oh my god.
Was that a difficult question early in the morning?
It's a
No, not really.
What was the question again? If
Like, for example, your parents or your family members or your friends told you, you know what, you should not be friends with, I don't know, Anna anymore because, break na kayo. Why are you still friends with your ex-anak or dude? Does it matter what they say? Kasi when you were still together, definitely they were involved. And they've seen you happy. They've seen you sad. How you were hurt if the person was the one who broke your heart and whatnot. And suddenly you decided to become friends with your ex. And ngayon yung pamilya mo and friends mo parang, are you okay? Di ba nga nag-away kayo before kaya kayo nag-break and now you're friends? Parang ganun.
well,
Do you
for
listen
one
to
thing,
those
there is,
kinds of opinions?
well for one thing, the reason why I clarified it is that's when the relationship is going down in the deeper route. So malalim na siya, wherein you're already connecting, you're involving family already, and your plans are inclusive of those particular people. Pero if the relationship is private muna, kayo munang dalawa, I think that's parang we're moving forward way too much. Okay? So, going to the first situation, siguro this is my purpose. Very importante din kasi magpaalam ka
Sa family.
sa family na parang, I'm sorry, ito lang po kami. Kasi kailangan mo rin establish yun. Same thing with your friends, yung na-mention natin kanina, na you need to clarify with your friend, hanggang dito lang talaga. Nothing more, nothing less. Yes, you can still be friends for the reason that, na ganito, ganyan. Pero other than that, hanggang dito lang. For the family, however, especially if marami ng investment, sabi nga ni, I think that's where you really need to clarify.
Yes.
Kasi kung kapag ang marami mga bagay sa isang relationship na all of a sudden you just stop, pero isa na, pero friends po kami. Parang ano yun, malaking sampal yun. Alam mo yun, you prepared. Alam mo yun, nakapag-prepare kayo eh. Pero all of a sudden, it's like saying na, well, we'll get married, pero during the time na ikakasal kayo, no show ka. Ganun yung parang ganun. I mean, that's a very grand, very, very foul, pero parang ganun siya, ganun mo siya pwedeng i-consider. So, yeah, basically, you also need to explain that it could work, it could work, but it's important you explain that to the family.
Yeah, so you're telling us right now na if you broke up with the person and your family knew about the person and ngayon kina-question nila why you're friends with that person, you just have to inform them that we broke up but we decided to be friends and I hope you would respect that. Even with friends. Justin, what's your take on... Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Out of the family side, yung friend side, especially if it's your go-to person, you shared a lot with that person. We had our fights, we had our makeups, we had this, we have that. If that go-to person is not being supportive, that's the thing. Like, you got to be careful who you tell things to, and especially you have to establish that hey bro, or hey girl, I need your help, or I know I said this, I said that I don't like to be with this person, but I do. But yeah, I think what you have to do is choose one or two of your friends who are open-minded, so you can have that loyalty and respect, and and they're not gonna judge you.
Okay, so you just have to choose among your friends whom you can trust about the situation.
Like me, I was chosen to be one of them.
Okay. All right, cool. My second question is this. Supposing your friends and families are okay with you becoming friends with your exes, or maybe not, no? Will you or do you bring your exes as friends to family occasions or to occasions wherein you're with your friends? Like parang, boys, we'll hang out and chill on Saturday. Is it okay if I bring Latricia on Saturday too? Because we're friends. Or it's a family gathering. Like, Mom, Dad, I'm bringing her, the friend of mine who used to be my ex, to the gathering. Is it fine? Do you do that? Or, nah, that's the boundary.
I think we'll have the same answer for this one. I'm not sure, Justin, but correct me if I'm wrong.
I would like to.
We don't wish the other person to feel awkward during such. It's better not to. Kasi una-una sa lahat, if she's try to contextualize this na, if the person is in that occasion, in that event, and then all of a sudden, lahat ng mga tita-tito naging close niya, ay magsasama-sama at mag-uusap-usap, you're bringing back previous or past issues already na alam mong tapos na. And it's not helping you, your ex, and family involved. So it's better just not to. Parang respeto rin sa isa't isa yun, siguro. Okay?
Okay,
Your take, Justin.
No, the reason why I was shaking my head, because I'm like focusing on more of the friend sides, because I have seen this within my friends. Somebody will be jealous. Somebody will be triggered, even though you're the one who invited them over. Pero no, if it's another if you bring your ex along and people know about it, it's not only awkward, it's just that you're bringing more drama into it. What if
Exactly.
not, if you bring your friend, your ex girlfriend to one of your group gatherings, and then your ex are starting to like to your other friend, your guy friend, and you'll get triggered because it's part of guy code, bro code. Nah, you do not you don't flirt with your homeboy's ex girlfriend. Because that creates drama, and that relates to it to this number 4.
So this is exactly number 4, the family feud. You know, the dynamics na since you've decided to become friends with your ex, now how is it gonna be when you tell your families or your friends that you are actually friends with your ex? And how far do you involve your ex in your activities? So what I'm getting from you right now is that yes, you can be friends with your ex, but when it comes to gatherings, activities, it's best not to tag the person or bring the person anymore kasi nga it'll bring something from the past. Or
Yeah.
if not something from the past, it might trigger like what Justin said, since you're already exes, baka yung tropa mo, gusto niya yung tropa mo, and that is not a good thing.
Yeah. Basically, ano lang yun eh. Parang you're trying, when you risk trying to reconnect and stay close to each other as friends, you would eventually bring back those issues from the past. Whether they were by you or they were brought up by other people. And yung tropa kasi nun is that, remember, even though you have this, parang, sabihin natin, you were able to move on already, sabihin natin, able to accept the things that happened in the past, but there will always be something in there. The thing that we are avoiding here is to trigger, sabi nga ni Justin, is to trigger those feelings that would enable you to risk yourself to get hurt again and again and again and again. And yun yung iniiwasan natin doon.
Yep, cool. So, dito na pumapasok yung boundaries. Yes, it's okay to become friends with your ex, but you should set some boundaries. Na yung mga ginagawa nyo before, when you were still together as a couple, of course, logically, commonsensically, they're no longer applicable now that you're just friends. Okay? Kaso lang kasi, minsan, let's reverse the situation. Meron namang mga parents or friends na, uy anak, you bring naman Ana minsan dito sa bahay kahit na ex na kayo. I know your friends. I like that girl. May ganyan, aminin niyo. Parents naman yung nagde-demand na because finavor nila yung ex mong yon, sila naman yung nangungulit sa'yo to bring the person over. Or even your friends like, wait, dude, you're no longer bringing Ana over. So yun naman, invite mo minsan. Cool naman siya, tropa naman siya. Diba? If you get that consent from your families and friends, do you say, okay, I'll bring the person if that makes you comfortable? And if Ana, supposing, is comfortable enough, do you bring her over? And then there was silence.
No, that was quick silence kasi it's still no. Still situational.
Yeah.
No. More for you now kasi you already have that. You're in the spotlight now kasi you feel different. Na it's not pleasing you, it's pleasing them. So no. No. That's the reason why you made that decision. You guys, it's between you and your ex, not them. It's you and your ex. Make that decision, not them.
Exactly. I was about to say that na, alam mo yun, yeah, your parents or your family or even friends were involved in a relationship, but not entirely.
Yes.
You cannot put them in between you, especially now that you've decided on something. Sabi ko nga kanina na you started the relationship together, you worked on the relationship together, you broke up together, and eventually, just in case, made a decision to be friends, just friends together. Kayong dalawa lang. Uulitin ko yun. Kayong dalawa lang. Hindi kasama ang friends, hindi kasama ang family. But hanggang dun lang siya.
Yeah, kahit paborito siya ng nanay mo or ng tatay mo or ng mga kaibigan mo, that's not for them to decide.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But see, they're actually they're acting like they're more involved with the relationship, so it kind of
Mhm.
feels like, oh, are you part of the relationship too? The intimate relationship. I'm like, no, no, thank you.
Yeah, but I just raised that question because there's that scenario too. Na it's either your family likes the person or they don't like the person. And sometimes kung sino yung gusto nila ayaw mo or kung sino yung ayaw nila siya yung gusto mong maging kaibigan. Stuff like that. You'll never have an agreeing family talaga to what you wanted. They would always have the other option eh. But anyway, that's for Family Feud, and it's really a mess when it comes to the involvement of families and friends, especially if the two of you did not end up as a couple anymore. There's a lot of explaining to do. Na alam mo yon, yep, we're no longer a couple, we decided to be friends. Parang you have to justify your decision pa to them. Diba? Because not everybody will understand, the situation. Kasi for most, kapag ex na, wala nang friends. That's for most. Okay? Majority, if not everyone. And we have a comment right here from Larissa. She said, hahaha, yung Tupperware kasi pag walang balak magtagal sa relationship, huwag ipahiram. Charot. Yeah.
Gusto ko yun.
If you were not able to catch the Tupperware issue, Justin, we were just a viewer of ours, Michael, said na instead of the heartache, ang mas concern niya yung Tupperware ng mommy niya kasi hindi binalik ng ex niya. So it's kind of a joke right now, the Tupperware issue. The containers that you give your exes that they don't give back or return anymore once the relationship is over.
That's
So
the reason why Joko made a good example. Use the cool containers, not the little Tupperware.
Yeah.
True. Yep. All right. So that's for number 4, Family Feud, no? If you broke up with your ex and you decided to be friends with them, yeah. If your family is the traditional type, you need to do some explaining. If they're open-minded, you still do have to do the explaining to them para lang maintindihan nila yung situation mo. Para yung opinion nila and choices nila for you, hindi rin nila ini-enforce.
Yep.
Right? Even your friends. Another comment from Larissa. Like, for example, if you got kids, syempre kahit ayaw ng parents mo, you're thinking about the kids' welfare. Definitely. Kasi you have to bring the kids over to your, supposing, dating in-laws or, the grandparents of the guy. Totoo din to. Ibang dynamics naman talaga to pag may anak na. Like, for example, may okasyon sa guy and then they want the kids over. Hindi mo naman masabing, no, ayoko kasi ex na kita. So, this time you have to be selfless naman. Right? Hello to Mary Kate Russell Satin. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I was about to say that, very different instance, different scenario that it should dealt with differently as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi iba, I think you mentioned this a while ago na iba kapag may anak na.
Iba talaga.
Yes.
Basically, kailangan mong isipin yung welfare talaga ng, hindi mo yung sa'yo yung isipin yung welfare ng mga bata.
Mm-hmm.
Yung prioritize mo.
Yep. And as your kids or children are growing, you have to set a good environment from them. Alam mo yon? They don't have to see you quarrel. They don't have to see you fight. They have to see you not, sige, kahit hindi na good friends, pero civil sa isa't isa. Even the family of the two of you. Kailangan talaga, hindi nyo pinapakitang meron kayong bad blood. If the relationship ended wrongly. Ayan. We have a comment right here from John Patrick Lalo. Mga pinsan ko naglalabasan. Bro, wash out. Justin Timothy P. Lalo.
No thanks. I'm good just the way I am. Bagong gising, it's all good.
Now, probably what he meant with wash out is what's up? Yeah, probably.
What's up?
What's up?
Represent. Yeah. Represent. I've been sent back to our normal program.
Yep. All right. So that is number 4, no? Family Feud. This is chaotic. It's a mess, sabi ko nga, especially if there are children involved. But if there are none, then again, the deciding individual here is you. How to mingle with your ex, involving your friends and families or not. Okay? Now let's go to number 5, and it's all about the inability to move on. If I may read the article, it says, if one person isn't over the other person, then things can get confusing. There could be one person who wants to strictly be friends while the other sees an opportunity to get back together. This could potentially end a friendship and relationship. This was the issue of Jill a while back.
Oof.
Okay. The other person is already decided that the relationship is over, meaning to say no emotional attachments whatsoever. But the other person still feels that there are still some romantic feelings remaining. And they want to take advantage of the friendship to probably get back with the ex. So the inability to move on is an issue here because you cannot let go of the relationship, neither the person and neither the possible friendship with the person. Your thoughts?
Then,
Mm.
then I'll give you time to think.
I
Anyways,
became a therapist, huh? I became a therapist.
It's okay.
Sige, while you're thinking your answer,
No. I would say that's hard. I mean, you have to just say it's okay. But I will work on me. I know you. It's just not being blunt, and you just be supportive now for one another, even though you guys are not in that same level anymore. But at least just like give yourself some time. So it's hard for the other person. Even though so for example, I'm not able to move on, but she wants to come back. I think you just need to have the set ground. There was something that I need to fix first, then I can actually communicate with her about and talk to her about.
Mm-hmm. So basically, if you still have feelings for the person, definitely you will not consider being friends with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to fix yourself first. And eventually, when you're convinced and you're already decided that you've moved on completely, there's no emotional whatsoever remaining, then you could reach out and communicate, yeah, let's be friends.
Yes.
Okay, cool. What about you, Drew? The inability to move on because one has not moved on yet but wants to be friends, and the other person is already convinced that the relationship is over.
we've highlighted certain matters earlier, but magmumukha ako dito chip guru, pero guru po guys. This is just our take and our based on what we've read and even experiential statements. After one relationship ends, you should should let yourself have that necessary space for you to mend, okay, to heal. Yun yung na-mention ko kanina, to have those moments of peace during the storm. Okay? But eventually, once you think that you'll be healed and you've mended yourself, eventually once you go back into dating, then it's easier and you're comfortable with what you were with yourself. Now the problem there is if you spend so much time with your ex, or with the idea of still spending your time with your ex, then that's that's X na po yun. Well, just don't. More that you enable yourself to, will definitely find a space for you to move forward. Okay, I think for item, what you need to consider is that you have to grow for yourself, as eventually you are growing farther apart. I think that's one thing that we need to consider. That yes, you are still friends, but of course, you need to also have understanding na you're friends, but di na kayo kamukha ng dati. Hindi yung parang 24/7 na nag-text kayo, nag-message kayo, nagpapaalam ka. This time, it's different. There are some moments that you will not be spending together. There are some moments you will forget about each other. And as friends, is that normal? Yeah. Kami ba ni V, inaalala namin isa-isa every single time?
No.
Diretso. Hindi lagi. I mean, every now and then we... Yeah, every now and then we message each other. Lala kapag emergency, or at least we would like to release our sentiments about certain issues. Pero we don't. Alam mo yun? So similarly with if the dynamics of being their ex is applicable, then you'll be expecting that kind of thing as well. Okay? Sige, ma'am.
Yep.
I think you posted something about Larissa. She mentioned something there.
Yes, will be covered a little bit. She said right here, you can't be real friends if one of you isn't ready to accept that you're only friends na lang. This is not being bitter kasi if that person assumed that you're trying to become friends because you still have lingering feelings, love yourself muna, create a boundary na.
Tama.
Yep, definitely. We were telling this a while ago na parang if the breakup is fresh, don't force yourself to be friends with the person. 'Di ba? Even if ikaw pa rin yung may nararamdaman sa taong yun, don't even consider being friends. Parang try to salvage the relationship and try to convince the person to have another chance with you dahil ngayon friends kayo, something like that. That's not gonna help you. It's not gonna be healthy. And if you were not able to catch that, Justin, kanina sabi ko, love is not pity. Pity is not love. 'Di ba? If you beg for love, that's not love. It's pity.
Yes.
So, yun, kung nag-break kayo, mend your heart, heal, cry, lash out, magmura ka, magalit ka, mag-inom ka, whatever it is that, di ba? Whatever it is that'll help you to move on, do them. And then after that, once you're sure that you've moved on, and then nag-reach out yung taong yon or ikaw gusto mong makipag-friend sa taong yon, then that's the best time that you should be friends with the person. But definitely not on the moving on phase.
Heck no.
Diba? Kasi what are you doing? Kaya ka nga nakipag-break tapos makikipag-friends ka. Ba't pa kayo nag-break? Ang ko sa'yo, bala ka.
Or why you're in a relationship then with that person.
Chill lang, guys.
Yes.
Kami lang to. Kami lang to. Huwag kayong magalit.
Diba? Ayan, sabi dito ni Larissa, baka kasi you might get hurt or you'll hurt the person. Yes, definitely. Tapos sabi niya, ang dami ko na palang comments. Charot. Sabi niya, it's okay, we do appreciate comments.
Yeah.
We love comments.
Yeah, of course. The more the merrier. Of the
Yep. Ayan. So again, if you are just on the moving on phase, please do not consider being friends with the person. Maybe after, when you've finally let go. Like for real. Yung tipong wala nang natitirang kahit anong, alam mo yun, romantic feelings for the person. Like you could look at the person straight in the eye. Parang, yeah, dude. Yep, we're cool. But as long as you look at the person with loving eyes, it's gonna be a risky business. Definitely.
Para sinasabi mo lang dyan that try to avoid being emotionally vulnerable during that moment.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely on that. During the phase actually, because how are you going to move on if you're being stuck with the relationship that you just got out of? That's when, I always tell myself, why do I need to break myself down just for this situation? At the first part, the first phase, yes, it will happen. But at the second phase, choose a hobby that you love, not what you used to do with her, but within yourself. Give yourself chances to do the things that you were doing while you were with that person. Me, para sa akin, and it helps a lot. Go to the gym. Release all the emotion, release all the anger, burn out, not your mind, but also your body. They do it again. I love going to the gym. It's when you're peace and quiet, and it's you're battling yourself. So that would help you to not think about that person.
That is actually a practical insight, no? A very good one. Kasi when you mentioned do something na hindi siya involved, like the things that you used to do before with her, don't do them anymore. Kasi nga naman, no, logically, commonsensically, if you keep on repeating the same things that you used to do with the person, how will you be able to move on? So do something na hindi kasama yung taong yun sa memory ng activity na yon. That's nice.
Actually, yeah. And we whether we're conscious or unconscious about it, we do that. Like for one is to work out, which is somehow standard normally sa mga lahat na naririnig ko. But for some of us, yeah. But for some of us, it's quite different. Like for example, maybe just to share on my end, I enrolled for masters. Alam mo yun, these two things, they help on my end. Kasi
True.
alam ko, hindi siya nag-masters, hindi na siya nag-gym. I have it for myself.
Yeah.
Diba?
And that is actually a chance or an opportunity for you to find yourself again. What do I like? What do I love now that I'm no longer with the person?
Yeah.
Kasi whether you like it or you don't, when you were in the relationship, lagi kang tawag dito, nag-give in sa kung anong gusto niya or anong gusto niyang gawin pareho na nai-enjoy niyo pareho. But now, you're on your own. You get to do what you really like without the consideration of the other person.
Tama.
Cool. Sabi dito ni Michael John Ronquillo Escoto, +1 sa workout while moving on. Ano yung +1? Sightseeing?
Siguro like a good point.
Good point.
Okay.
Knowing Michael, nag-gym din yan.
Actually, laging ganun yung di ba, go-to activity ng mga nag-move on, the gym.
Kung hindi travel, gym.
Kasi it gives you serotonin or the happy hormones.
Yeah.
That's a nice exercise or activity.
Kung kayo namin serotonin, kain na kayo ng saging. Okay? O chocolate.
Yep. Or chocolates, yes. A quick hello to Paul Villarin, who's watching right now, and also to Jazz Garcia Layug. Hello, thank you for joining the live stream at this hour. It's actually raining in the Philippines right now, but we don't care. Not really entirely in the Philippines, but here in my area.
Why is
All right,
it
so
raining there?
I don't know. So the inability to move on, again, if you're just on the letting go, moving on phase, if you still feel something romantic for the person, do not abort mission. Do not be friends with that person. Do so after, when you're good, when you're done. Okay? And the second to the last, we have number 6. You feel forced to be friends with that person. Let's try to discover what this is about. It said here, just because you dated, talked, or were in a relationship with someone does not mean that they have to be a part of your life for the rest of your life. If you weren't friends before the relationship and you don't see the value of keeping them in your life, then don't force it. No one should judge you for not wanting to maintain contact with this person. Okay. Now, a lot of people will say, ay, hindi mo pa kayang maging friends sa ex mo. Siguro may nararamdaman ka pa sa kanya. And then for you just to prove that you don't feel anything anymore, okay, let me be friends with the person. Parang there's this stigma kasi or this idea na if you're friends with your ex, it means you've finally moved on. And if you cannot be friends with your ex, it means you still feel something for that person. So you kind of feel forced to be friends with that person. But what the article is telling us is that, if the relationship ended and you don't want to be friends with your ex, then be it. They don't need to stay in your life.
I don't think I see it.
Well, for one thing, you do not require validation from your friends.
Oh, yeah.
You don't. I need to be strict with what I've mentioned a while ago. You started it together, you ended it together. That's it. Period. Walang friends there. Be nothing. Today, it's both. The both of you should decide on it. Okay, whether it's your decision. Okay. Kasi alam mo yun, through with it already. For those na talagang alam nilang ang painful nung nangyari, and they are really trying their best to move forward. I think that the least that they could, I'm removing the spotlight from the people involved. I'm actually putting the spotlight to the supporting people. Na parang the least that we could do is to be kind, just not judge, and at least kung ano man decision na lang nila, we just in case, especially if we know na alam naman kaya ng taong yun. Siguro taga-salo na lang tayo just in case na medyo nalolosa siya ng konti, alalay ng konti-konti lang. Pero hindi naman totally na kailangan ito dapat gawin mo, ito yung susunod. No. Okay? Hindi tayo sa buhay nila at saka sa mga decisions nila. We're just there to at least give maybe a piece of what we are of our opinions, but will not be the basis of their decisions at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Your thoughts, Justin? Do you feel forced to be friends with that person, your ex, or it just comes naturally? Kasi, like for example, if you have 5 exes, lahat ba yun kinaibigan mo, or there's just this specific 1 or 2 na talagang kinaibigan mo after the breakup?
Well, I have an idea na minsan yung ibang tao, they're not feeling up their self-esteem, and they want that kind of attachment and companionship within themselves. So that's why they kind of feel like they want to be forced to have somebody instead of nobody. If you can't fix yourself or feel satisfied within yourself, and you're okay to be alone, that means you can grow out of it. Pero if you have a low self-esteem and you just want to fill that void, that means you're pushing yourself to be back to that person. Because it means that when couples go back, exes, they break up, on and off relationship. There's a problem there because they're not even sorting them out as a couple, or yung iba, I think one person is not really fixing themselves enough. That's how I see na minsan, if the equilibrium it goes here, you're trying to chase back to feel you want to put yourself back in that game. You're technically the term is chasing them back to what you lost.
So what you're saying is, if you just want to fulfill some, I don't know, ego or confidence or the lack of self-esteem, that's why you want to be friends with the person, then that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
If you're not genuinely really wanting to be friends with the person, then don't.
Yes.
Parang pang sarili lang. Yeah. My idea naman for this one is that you feel forced to be friends with that person. Ako kasi personally, if I become ex with the person and I've really moved on, I choose to become friends with the person, not for anything else, but just to be sure that when we see each other, probably in the mall, in the restaurant, I could look at the person in the eye and not feel awkward anymore. Kasi I don't want to have any grudges or any bad blood or any bad taste in anybody else's mouth. Yung feeling ko kapag nakita ko siya, kahit na ex ko siya, we're good. Kahit ano yung pinag-awayan namin before, if I ended up being friends with that person, I know when we see each other again, we could smile at each other and not feel bad about each other. So I kind of feel forced to be friends with them kasi ayokong magkaroon nga ng, misinterpretation na bakit pag ba mag-ex kayo, dapat magkaaway kayo forever? Diba? Or bakit pag mag-ex ba kayo, dapat di na kayo nagpapansinan forever? Diba? So ako, ganun ako. So I kind of not forced in a way na ayoko siyang gawin, but forced just because, for the lack of a better term, forced just because I want to be sure that the person does not feel bad towards me and I don't feel bad towards him too. Ganun siya.
It's kind of like the social norm. When you break up, that's it. And you're just judging the book. Like you didn't know what happened within that story of the relationship. So some people are just gonna judge na, like, why it kind of put them down, like why you staying friends with your ex if, like, even though you guys still break up in good terms, and some people don't understand that part. That's why I said before, choose the friends who are loyal to you, who are open-minded to you, and who respect your decision, because that's what you need, that support.
Definitely. Kasi not everybody will understand your choices. A lot will judge you for it, diba? Yep. And we have another comment right here from Larissa. She said, you don't need to prove anything to your friends or family. Like Sir Drew said, you don't need any validation. If you don't want to stay friends or you stay friends with your ex, it's still you who needs to decide. Don't feel pressured. That's what she said. Definitely. We agree. Mm-mm. Kaya nga lang natin pinag-uusapan to kasi we couldn't deny the fact that there are still prying eyes. Yung may mga, ang daming hanash, ang daming alam sabihin. Hindi, sabi nga ni Justin, hindi naman nila alam talaga yung konteksto ng relationship before. Diba? But the point here is, as long as it's natural for you and you don't feel forced to become friends with your ex, go for it. Diba? Sabi nga natin, yung disclaimer natin dun sa beginning pa lang, you will not be judged for whatever choices you make in your life. Be friends with your ex, go ahead. You don't want to be friends with your ex, go ahead. As long as you know you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Diba? Kung ano yung para sa'yo, what best fits you.
And what your intentions are.
Yeah, definitely. Your intentions too. Diba? Is it, the kind of genuine friendship, or yun nga, may ulterior motive ka? Do you want to feed your ego? Or, do you want to get back with the ex? Stuff like that. All right. That is for number 6. You feel forced to be friends with that person. And for the cons or the downsides, this is the last one. Jealousy. Drew, please read for us what jealousy is about. Okay, Drew is lagging. Hello. Na moving. Okay, let me read it instead. So number 8 or number 7, for the cons or the downside of being friends with your ex is jealousy. It says jealousy can come in any form and from anyone. Whether you or your ex gets jealousy when a new beau comes into the picture, or the new beau gets jealous and skeptical of your friendship. It might be better to just leave your ex alone to avoid anyone having nasty feelings towards each other. Okay, there you go. I think this was mentioned a while back by Justin. Like, if I bring over my ex, if it's a boys' night out or a gathering of friends, and the other person might be interested in her, or she might be interested in one of my friends, the jealousy might kick in. That's why we were reiterating or repeating a while back that you should be sure that if you are friends with your ex, na single ka, diba? Para wala kang pananagutan sa ibang tao. Because it's hard to explain. Like, for example, may bago ka ng karelasyon, and then sasabihin mo sa partner mo, labas lang ako, babe, ah. O, sinong mga kasama mo? Si ganto. Tsaka yung ex ko, na tropa ko na ngayon. Parang, ha?
Yep.
Wait lang. Bakit ka lalabas kasamang ex mo? Teka lang, ayun, doon na magsistart yung jealousy, yung tawag insecurity, kasi nga, ex mo yun. Ito yung downside, di ba? The jealousy. So, pag-usapan natin siya. How do you handle this? If you are in a relationship already, is it okay to still be friends with your ex? If you are in a relationship. Ngayon, ibang konteksto na. Kanina, single ka. Pero ngayon, may karelasyon ka ng bago or may bago ka ng nililigawan. Is it still right to be friends with your ex?
That's the reason why I'm not friends with my ex. As simple as that. I don't need to explain. Yun na yun.
Yeah. It's straight point. Straight to the point, actually. There's no need to explain to back it up, because if you do, that means you're actually just making them feel more and more jealous and more insecure, and it will create a fight. It will create more drama.
Mm-hmm.
For one thing, you're trying to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because for one thing, if you already have a fresh start already, you started again with another person, you're trying to pursue whatever that's left there. I mean, whatever is you're trying to develop in that new relationship. Okay. Sabi nga ni Justin, just to avoid further drama, para hindi na dumagdag ng dumagdag. I mean, yeah, maybe I'm speaking it in a male standpoint. I mean, not generalizing it, but I think with the many things that we know about males is that we avoid drama as much as we could. I mean,
Good here.
Yeah, as much as possible, less drama. It's better.
I think
Okay?
it's different, how you guys, the males, operate when it comes to the situation and how we deal with the situation. Kasi ako, in the beginning of the discussion pa lang, I've been upfront about it already. I've been bold to even admit that I am friends with some of my exes. And one of them actually watched the live a while back. And I'm married, but each time I have conversations, well, I don't initiate them, but when my exes initiate conversations with me, I have the maturity to keep the conversation casual, polite, civil, and I also have the respect for my husband to let him know about it. Okay, I tell him like, uy, nag-chat nga minsan sa akin yung ex ko. Ano sinabi niya? Ganto ganyan. I'm honest about it. I don't keep it from him. Kasi nga sabi ni Justin, if you keep on explaining yourself, then something might be going on. It's the same reason that I have. If I will not tell my husband about it and I'll hide it from him, that means something is going on too. And since something is not going on, I'm honest enough and mature enough to tell my husband about it. Kahit pa, some may find it strange, that I am that honest about, my conversations with my exes or my ex. Diba? I guess we're kind of different in that sense na parang kayo kasi parang you don't want more drama.
No, it's not only that. It's just that we don't want to create problems sa bahay. If I go out and have fun with my friends, oh yeah, my ex will show up, and then my friends will contact her saying that, hey, oh yeah, did Justin mention that this so and so was here too? So it's kind of like how if I didn't tell her before going there, that means I'm gonna go home to drama, or I will have to deal with drama while going back home.
Definitely you will, kasi hindi mo sinabi prior.
Exactly, and if alcohol or drugs were involved in your system, like you would be more triggered, and you don't want to hurt the person that you're going back to.
Mm-hmm.
You guys could have just settled this as very mature about it and building that trust and honesty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, the safest way is really not to be friends with your ex, especially if you are in a relationship already. And the person you are in a relationship with at that time or at the moment is not comfortable about it. I think that's the key thing here. Eh. Kung yung karelasyon mo hindi comfortable, then don't.
Just
Definitely.
Oh yeah, small simple sentence and then end it.
Diba? But if your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, husband and wife are cool about it, sige. I mean, meron kasing ganun eh, yung naiintindihan nila, then go for it as long as you know your self-control, you know your boundaries, and you know why you're friends with your ex. Diba? And also, one more thing, if you are in a relationship already and you remained friends with your ex, wag naman din yung pag may problema kayo ng girlfriend or boyfriend mo, si ex ang sinasabihan mo. You know what I'm saying? Kasi may ganong konteksto din na dahil friends tayo, naiintindihan mo ako dati, sa'yo ako magsusumbong pag may problema ako sa relationship ko ngayon. That's gonna be a chaos. It's gonna be a problem, a big problem. Kasi doon niya nasabihin, nung tayo, hindi na kita sinaktan ng ganyan. Nung tayo, mas mabait ako. Ngayon, ganyan ang reklamo mo. Hay, nako, bahala talaga kayo dyan.
Since you mentioned that, if they say that is a flag na the ex still has feelings for you.
Definitely. I have to agree. Yeah, definitely. Meron pa rin talaga. Di man niya aminin bluntly, but based on the words or the emotions being shown. Yeah, definitely. A quick hello lang to Don Aldejos who is watching us right now. Hello, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon. And we have a comment right here from Larissa. She said, whoops, wrong button. There you go. One thing sa mga ex din, if your ex has already moved on, if you were the one on the defensive side, wag na possessive sa ex. If you are in a relationship naman, if he or she knows the story behind your breakup, stay away na lang para wag magselos si current partner. Oo naman. Yep. I think it takes a lot of respect to be able to identify the boundaries, 'di ba? Lalo na kapag may ka-partner na or bagong karelasyon na yung tao, yung ex mo. Stay away from the picture. Don't meddle. Easier said than done. Drew, nananahimik ka.
Ha?
Nananahimik
Wala
ka.
na.
In the words of Among Us, you're the imposter.
Nasa side ako na don't eh. So sabi, edi don't. Ganun lang yun.
No, seriously though. Kapag may karelasyon na kayo, whether boyfriend or girlfriend, asawa yan, no? How do I put it? Yes, you can be friends with your ex, but do not put your partner in the position na kailangan niyang mag-doubt, ma-insecure, magtanong, magselos.
Yes.
Okay?
Maybe that happens when you have, parang, that happens in the long run already. Maybe it will be revisiting what we've mentioned a while back as we started our discussion. Maybe once you're able to find or develop a sense of maturity and you being able to properly communicate your thoughts and your feelings, maybe that's the time that you're able to parang be able to experience such thing. Kasi if you haven't, I might be speaking to, pero yun kasi yung titingnan ko dyan eh. You being able to maturely handle circumstances and you being able to communicate them accordingly. Kasi kung hindi ka marunong mag-ganon, those basic yet necessary skills, I think your plan to be friends with your ex and you having a relationship already might not work. Hindi ka na nga nagpapaalam, nagdi-discuss, hindi ka nag-communicate, and you're not really mature, you're not mature to handle the friendship that you already have, and you have other intentions. Ginagawa mo ng yung naging ex in case na may mangyari, and kung gano'n ang intention mo, just stop, don't even there. Okay? Parang ang nangyari lang dito, you're not playing with your ex, you're actually playing with two relationships.
Yep.
And that's just totally wrong.
You're playing with fire with fire.
Yeah. So, alam mo yun, actually correct with this one na para hindi na lang ma-develop yung jealousy, para hindi na lang mag-develop yung mga doubts, then at least communicate accordingly yung na-mention nyo kanina. Okay?
Yep.
Ipagpaalam nyo or reason out to the person involved on why this, why not this, and so on. Okay? Para klaro yung lahat. Parang dito lang kasi. Sabi nga natin, you need to establish boundaries for the current relationship that you have, but also with the friendship that you're trying to rebuild dun sa ex mo. Okay? I'm saying na rebuild kasi syempre nag-start kayo as friends ideally, friends, and then you had a relationship, and now you're rebuilding your relationship again as friends. So alam mo yun, just don't fuel the fire further. Wag mo nang dagdagan ng additional pugon o ano man papel. Wag mo nang dagdag. You try to minimize the risks that you have. Okay? And again, it's easier said than done, but ideally, ganun yung pwede natin isipin dyan.
Yep. Well, if your partner already told you that he or she is uncomfortable, the equation is simple. Who is more important, your partner now or your ex who's your friend? Actually, don't even have to decide. I mean, you don't even have to choose.
Yeah.
Kasi it's automatic, right? Lagi, your partner will come first because that is your partner now. That's the love of your life now. That's the person you are in a relationship now. Yeah. So definitely. Go ahead.
And I think if you really are true as friends already, your ex who's already your friend, ang hirap magbigay ng distinction.
Categorize,
Yeah. I think that person will understand already.
Definitely.
Kasi meron kayong past eh. So, kung, alam mo yun, parang, I know this is very hard to do as well, or even try to put into mind. Pero try to consider your ex, if you had a very beautiful relationship, to be one of the best things that you never had. Kasi kapag nangyari na yun, your relationship, or if not the relationship, the things that you've done together, experienced together, they become parcels of learning.
Yes.
You'll be able to redo or make things better with the current relationship that you have. And bilang ikaw na kaibigan na lang, masakit yun na, kaibigan na lang, respetuhin mo yung ganong dynamic na eto ang ex ko trying to build himself or herself, and I think I need to respect the space of him or her growing.
Yes.
Kasi
I love that.
Yun yung dynamic na kailangan isipin eh. Hindi dahil, wag mo siyang solohin kasi unang-una, wala na kayo. Wag mo siyang bakurin kasi unang-una sa lahat, magkaibigan na lang kayo. Wag mo sabihin na meron pa rin kayong connection sa isa't isa. Alalahanin mo, unang-una sa lahat, walang kayo. Uulitin ko, walang kayo. Period. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think this is what was Larissa's telling us, yung wag ka nang possessive sa ex mo kapag meron na siyang bagong kapartner. And know your boundaries. Ikaw na yung dumistansya kapag alam mong meron ng bagong partner or nililigawan or karelasyon yung ex mo. Diba? That's the respect that both of you deserve.
Tama.
Right? Cool. And so that's the last item on our list, the disadvantages or the downsides of being friends with your ex. Well, yeah, definitely, ultimately, jealousy is one of the downsides, lalo na kung pareho na kayong may mga karelasyon. Definitely. It's gonna matter whether you like it or you don't. Kahit sabihin nyo pang you're mature about it, responsible about it, cautious about it, or you've set your boundaries, meron at meron talagang papasok na jealousy dyan. All right. Now, again, to wrap things up, let's just itemize again the things that we talked about a while back. So for the upside, we have figuring out why it ended. Number 2, this person knows you better than most. Number 3, Justin?
I'm sorry, what? I saw the comment.
Yeah. We have a comment too. Yeah, I'll update in a while. A new opportunity. Number 4 shows your maturity, and number 5, you get to see a different side. And for the downsides, Drew.
For the downsides, number 1, exes are exes for a reason. Number 2, the past can get in the way. 3, intimacy. 4, family feud. 5, inability to move on. 6, you feel forced to be friends with that person. And lastly, number 7, jealousy.
Yep, thank you very much. And now for the comment from Larissa. Whoops, there you go. Okay. One thing to add up. Justin, kindly read it.
One thing to add up, kasi if in the first place, sorry, iniwan mo siya for some reason, respect the part na mag-move on na siya, wag nang sirain ng happiness niyo. Yeah.
True.
Niyo, yeah. Actually,
yeah.
Goes both ways actually talaga. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Dapat talaga kapag, yes, you're saying.
I was trying to say na talagang don't wreck your own happiness for the person that you just left. You have to tell yourself na you guys broke up, but you have to repair. Things broke, so what are you gonna do? Let it stay broken, or you want to fix it? That's what I tell my friends na, hey, focus on you, do you, build your own happiness. So because you may not know, the person who was waiting for you was just waiting for you to be more happy, and giving yourself more respect.
Oh, that's so nice. Somebody out there is waiting for you. Just have to rebuild yourself. True. Beautiful. All right. Segue to that. Final take on this. I'll ask you again. A while back, I drew the first card by asking, is it okay to be friends with your ex? Drew said no. I said yes. I don't know what's Justin take is on this matter, but let me ask you again. After discussing the pros and the cons, the upsides and the downsides, do you think it's still worth it being friends with your ex? Who wants to go first?
I game na.
Game na.
akala ko
Yeah.
naglag lang. Anyways,
Yeah.
game na. Justin, would you like to or ako na muna?
Sure, I'll go.
Sige.
It's not worth it. Pero take it as a grain of salt. Kasi minsan there's people that will give that kind of chance na you just want to stay friends, but you don't want to make it awkward, and they still are part in their life, and vice versa. Pero there's that boundary line talaga that you guys are not being intimate anymore. You just have to be respectful and be friends. Pero at the same time, it's a risk that you're gonna take. It's a gamble.
Mhm.
Just be careful with it.
Yeah, definitely agree to that. Or agree with that. Drew, ikaw, is it still a no?
Definitely. Walang makakabago sa akin. As in, period, don't. However, yeah, dyan na papasok yung however. Siyempre, kailangan i-weigh
However.
kailangan i-weigh in ko pa rin yung dalawa. When it comes to real life, there is no clear-cut list of pros and cons. Please, this kind of issue. Okay? Everyone has their different take on it. Everyone has their different way of deciding on it. You let go of someone or have them stay as friends. Sabi nga ni Justin kanina, it will be a great risk. Okay? Lagi yan. You took the risk of falling in love. You took the risk of being together. You took breaking the relationship, and you will be taking the risk of staying together as friends. No matter what it is, whether it will be the most painful experience or the most beautiful one. Again, there's no of the right or wrong way to move on. Okay, remember that in the words of Kristoff from Frozen 2. Yeah, may pa-reference ako. Imaginative character
Let
pa siya.
it
From the words.
go.
Walang let it go sa Frozen 2. Ano ba? In the words of Kristoff of Frozen 2 2020, your love is fragile, but your heart is. So please take care of your heart. Please take time, and please be cautious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I thank you.
Beautiful. Now, before I give my final take on this one, I just want to up the comment of Larissa. She said, it's not easy to be friends with your ex. It still is your choice, or there are circumstances that you really need to stay civil with your ex. Yeah, like in your case, you have to remain friends or civil with your ex because of your children. And then she side commented, Michael John Ronquillo Escoto, nagwagi si Budang live selling, LOL, because Michael disappeared out of nowhere. And I want to say quick hello to Abigail Makaspak, my classmate from college. Thank you so much for joining the live this late, and thank you for watching. Okay, to answer my own question, is it worth it to be friends with your ex? Again, let me go back to what I was telling you a while ago. If you know the person is a good person, okay, and you want to keep the person because of that goodness, go ahead. Okay, I am not going to judge you if you want to remain friends or if you want to be friends with your ex. However, if that person has shown you evil stuff, bad things, not just as a partner, but as an individual, his character is, I don't know, messed up, his ego out there, the kind of qualities that you wouldn't really want in a friend, then don't try to be friends with that person anymore because it's not going to be worth it. Okay. And at the same time, try to give boundaries and a definition to what kind of friendship you want to have with the person. Okay, I think it's important that you have to define what friendship is when it comes to being with your ex. All right. Some call it being civil, some call it civility, some call it, just being casual. However you want to tag your friendship with a person, just be sure you're not hurting anyone, you're not hurting the person, you're not hurting yourself, and most especially, you're not hurting your partner if you are already in the relationship. All right? Ako, no judgment. If you want to be friends, go ahead. I'll still stick to my answer in the beginning. Go ahead, be friends. Just be responsible enough, be mature enough, and set boundaries. Okay? Set boundaries. Importante yon.
Mhm.
Even tayong mga hindi mag-ex, magkakaibigan tayo, we have boundaries. Diba? Di naman natin binibigay lahat sa isa't isa. So, it's the same concept when you become friends with your exes. Alright? And in addition to that, kasi medyo nasad lang talaga ako sa situation ni Jill kanina. If you've not moved on, please don't be friends with your ex. Move on muna. You first. Masyakit eh. Ayan, sabi dito ni Michael John Ronquillo Escoto, ibabalik na daw po ba yung Tupperware? Ewan ko sa inyo. Saan nyo nilagay yung Tupperware?
Pakibalik na po yung Tupperware.
Could be thrown away, or it's not even clean. Who knows?
Siguro, ano na yon? May ano na yon, propriety ba yung tawag?
Proprietorship.
Oo.
Propriety.
Matagal nang sa kanila, so sa kanila na yon. Wow. Ayun, so that's, it's kind of a light topic to talk about, but if you dig deep and think deep about it, marami siyang dynamics and complications na dapat i-consider, di ba? Kasi human relations yan eh.
Yeah, I think let me correct that and sinabi mo na light topic siya. It's actually not a light topic. I mean, when you go through with it, it's maybe the reason why you say it's a light topic, it's easy to talk about it. It's easy to share your insights about it. But when you're trying to live...
Pero yung dynamics niya.
Live the dynamics about it, experience it firsthand, then that's the time na talagang mahihirapan ka. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ayan. So, sana may natutunan kayo. Sabi niya, bilhan mo na ng Tupperware.
Yeah. Yan po yung moral ng natin ngayon, ng segment natin ngayon. Bilhan mo ng Tupperware seat.
No, actually, the moral of the story is that do not invite your girlfriends or boyfriends to your houses and ask your mom to give them, takeouts in Tupperware.
Using the Tupperware.
Plastic na lang. Actually. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for us. I hope you learned a thing or two in this discussion. Again, we will not judge you should you decide to be friends with your ex or not. It's your choice as long as you keep your self-respect, self-worth, and your respect for each other. Pahabol ni Larissa, it is easy to give advice to people who are in that kind of situation or relationship kaso mahirap siya talaga. Anyways, chill.
Yeah.
I know. Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Right. That's why we always tell you we are not here to judge you because we do not know your stories. We're just talking based on our experiences, our understanding. And, if we were in your situation, what will we do? And we're sharing those ideas to you.
Yep.
All right, cool. Final shout outs, hellos, and whatsoevers to people who matter to you guys.
Basta sa akin, typical lang, keep safe, be happy, be well. Au revoir.
Shout out from Virginia. Stay safe,
You
guys.
take care.
2020 is a nightmare, but 2021 is the beautiful dream coming up.
Yeah,
We'll be
sure,
looking
definitely.
forward.
We agree. All right, that's it for us. We're ending the live early tonight because we don't want you to be puyat for tomorrow. It's Monday. Pahabol lang, baka magtampo si Michael. Basta ako, idol ko kayo, ma'am, sir. Bahala yung ex ko.
Give that a thumbs up. Click the like
Michael.
button right there.
Sa susunod nga, mag-guest ka sa amin para meron kaming joker sa live stream. Ang saya. Ang sakit sa chan. Anyway, yeah, like what I said, that's it for us. We won't keep you any longer for tonight. So you have better sleep and good night sleep for tomorrow. It's going to be Monday here in the Philippines. Justin, you take care when you go to work today. Thank you so much for your time. Dude, Drew, always. Thank you so much. Please do not forget to wear your mask, bring your alcohol, stay safe, be healthy, and do not forget to pray. Bye, everybody. Good night. That's it for us.
Bye, guys.
Mwah. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, Channel V, YouTube. Bye-bye.
Like that.
Yep.